Good evening, folks, and welcome, Odd, Aleph, Blake, to Lanque. Sorry, I'm just trying to... One second. There we go. I'm trying to plug in my fucking headphones. Okay, now they're plugged in. Aleph, what the fuck are you linking in my chat? What the fuck? That's a lot. There are so many tags. I've only caught like 5 of them and I already want to scream. Oh, Sneak Cat. Hello, welcome. Okay, so, here's the deal. Tonight is Lanque night. As you may or may not have noticed, I had to mark my channel for mature content. She meant another one? Blake, what the fuck are you looking at? Let's get this game open. So, today, we are finished. It's the beginning of the end. We're finishing off, the Hiveswap Friendsim Volume 18, the last one. It is indeed here. The time has come. Please, please, game capture mode work. Let me know if game capture mode is not working. You should be able to see the screen by now. If you cannot see the screen by now, let me know. Yeah, so Lanque through to the fucking dinger, and of course, along with it came like a fuckload of discourse, primarily based around him as trans representation, aside from the events of the route itself. It's working! Yeah, it's working! What the fuck is he gonna do? Second life tag and you got punched in the face. Oh my. Yeah, so Lanque does some things. And the author does some things. Because the author is V. I'll let you know that right now, so you know you're in for a fucking ride. Oh shit, it just cuts out sometimes. Okay, I'll wait a few seconds to make sure everyone's on the same page before I keep going. So, hello. Good. Glad it's all working. Yeah, so V did this one. Also, someone, I don't remember who, someone on the dev team confirmed that V is not hussy, like 100%. Like, that is an incorrect theory. So we're back to page 1. We don't know who the fuck this is. Yeah. So, you've only reread one fanfic. Maybe me? Why would I know? Should I know this? V is drill. Oh shit, that's actually quite possibly a relevant theory that it is drill. Or drill makes me, and Homestuck Connections makes me think of Casey Green. Although I don't think that Casey Green would write quite so elegantly. He tends to... He does wonderful writing, but it's less wordy than Homestuck. It usually is. Might know it because it was Rose Garden the last time you mentioned it. Ooh, okay. This is just making me want to look it up. Like, search through Rose Garden and be like, fic that Aleph recommended. Oh, I remembered to hit record this time, so it's actually recording from the very beginning, which I'm super happy about, because high quality YouTube videos, yay. Is it typical to talk about? Oh, y'all are pulling out all the fucking stops today, and rightfully so. We're in for a fucking ride with this one. Okay, right, so we're only doing Lanque today. because his root is extra long, and also because the Soleil's root is average, if not a little on the shorter side, and we also have the epilogue to get through tomorrow. So I don't think that this will take the full 2 hours. If I never shut the fuck up and start the stream, it will. But we're just gonna break whenever the clock hits midnight. So it may be in the middle of dialogue, depending on where we are. Everyone on YouTube knows your sins. Well, not necessarily, because I chopped the intro music, which is when most of that conversation was, but some of it'll be there. Yes, this is a perfect time for me to mention again that I will not block messages on request. If you say something in chat, you gotta acknowledge that it's going on that video, because I have blocked messages before, and it's a hell of a process in Vegas. Maybe I'm just fucking doing it wrong. Maybe I'm just fucking doing it like the bad long way to do it, and there's a better way to do it, but I have yet to find it. So yeah, just that. Also, spoilers in chat will get you soft banned. I always forget to mention those rules. I do have those rules strictly for the Hiveswap Friendsim streams. Anyway, surprise 4. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna streamline this, and we're gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of water, and then we're gonna start reading. Okay. You crash-landed onto a planet called Alternia. You staggered from the wreckage of your ship. You were desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention. But most of all, you were desperate for friendship. Is what you could say if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Aristotelian idea of narrative unity. Possibly you can make some reference to a circle being complete in a thoughtless and imbecilic manner. Circle of stupidity is complete. Gonna mention some yeah, no, I'm sorry. I know that the putting it on YouTube does kind of put a little bit of a damper on the chat, but I'm gonna power through. If you still feel like firing it out there, we got the Discord channel. That's 100% private. But we're all in this together, right? And we've all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd brewing beneath the surface. This really isn't about friendship anymore, is it? You've got enough friends. Now you need answers. You need... Oh, god damn it. This was just the intro screen. It's like Tumblr all over again. Yeah, no, I mean, it's the same as it's been for every other Friendsim stream. Like, there's no other big restrictions, just, don't put your address in chat. Although, if you do accidentally somehow copy and paste your address into chat, that is an exception I am willing to make to block out the message. Discord is forever unless you delete it. I mean, yeah, if you feel so inclined, you could shout something cursed and then just delete it and deny its existence. Actually, don't do that. Gaslighting is really bad. Anyway, not gonna ask who to pick first, because we are here strictly for Lanque. So Barzum and Paisley, by the way, completely stole my heart. These two little children. Oh my god. And yeah, I guess they're... Oh. Not making... Okay. Lanque Bombix. And yes, I am going to continue using my fucky pronunciation of all of these names. And what's this? A familiar tune instead of a new James Roach track? What's next on the docket? Oh, you're really feeling like going completely off the rails. So it's a good thing the first person to ping you on your palm husk is Lynura. That nutty... Oh my... Yeah. Oh, I gotta find something. Okay. Okay, so I am going to read out loud for you the What Pumpkin official content warnings for this route. This route contains mild violence, drug and alcohol use, heavy profanity, sexually suggestive language, non-explicit sexual situations not shown visually on screen, sexual coercion, misogynistic language, and allusions to abusive behavior. That is the What Pumpkin official content warning for this route. Just so you know what you're getting into, and also why I put the mature filter on for this stream. Anyway, let's keep going. So it's a good thing the first person to ping you on your palm husk is Lynura. That nutty bitch is exactly the sort of destabilizing influence your life needs right now. I'm sorry, I'm just looking in chat and going, oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's sinking in. Okay. Hello? Hello, my friend? Because that's what we are now. Friends. Cool, that's not a weird at all way to talk to someone. You're really loving this one. You're not sure what it is, but you're positive whatever crackpot caper this loopy troll is about to rope you into is going to be a real humdinger. There's a sense of finality in the air. You can taste it. Lynura does you the courtesy of listening to you say all that shit without getting super put off by how much of a freak you are. Listen up! So, I was thinking, since us becoming friends has worked out so well, I'm starting to think maybe it'd be a good idea to give making more friends another shot after all, I guess? That's what I was thinking. So, there's this party I was invited to. You see, the fellow Jades in my cloister always sneak out and go to these things. You gently suggest to Lynura that she should hurry it the fuck up. Okay, so I'm nervous and I want to... Okay, so I'm nervous to go and I want a friend to come with me, okay? Is that so crazy? No, you don't think that's crazy at all. You think that sounds fantastic, actually. You don't ask for any details because who gives a shit? Puberty keep something in your head challenge, honestly. You show up on the block. We're not gonna talk about how you got there or whatever, because what a waste of time. You're just there. Lynura's met up with you too. Yeah, this is... So, as a filter to look at this through, the whole of this is super meta. Like, very much you can tell that there's author perspective in the narrative text and some of the character text as well. You don't... Oh my god, you haven't met Lynura yet? Y'all, it's all on my YouTube channel, which is now called Chamomile Gothic, Not Compelling Conduct. I promise this is the last time I'm changing the name. You show... Oh, right, I already read that part. Okay. Lynura mentioned there might be dancing, so you decided to really dress up for the occasion. Oh man, you went fucking nuts. You're wearing a cape and shit, but also, like, fishnets, maybe a sexy bra if that's her thing. Whatever you happen to drudge out of some dumpster or another. So they look like a hot mess. Honestly, you can imagine whatever you want here, but no, it's complete bullshit and you look like a total slut. Yeah, content warning for misogynistic language. Reiterating that one. Lynura isn't wearing anything special because we would have had to pay someone to redraw all her sprites. School really kicked your ass. No, I feel that. I totally feel that. I honestly, like, I feel a little bad about the quality of some of the streams because I feel like there was a lot going on and I was super fucking exhausted and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the thing. And then the stream just ended up being half me rambling at my ass. But, hey, variety. You're not caught up with them all either. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's it. It's cool, it's cool. Okay, from the looks of it, you're heading over to somebody's hive party? You're rolling up on some kind of joint that, from past experience, you can now surmise is an alien domicile. It's pretty big, and maybe belongs to someone on the blue end of the spectrum. Back here again. Is this block just where all the jade-blooded schoolgirls love to get down and dirty? It hits you like a bucket of ice when you realize whose hive you're walking straight towards this time. Well, I blogged them all as early as possible. Yeah. This is our Data's hive. Oh, also, we're in for more cameos in one route than we've had in any previous volume, so get ready for that too. Oh, that's just great! Your friend Ardata. Boy, you love Ardata. Can't wait to see her again. As you approach, you can immediately tell what kind of deal they have going on here. You can hear tunes bumping from all the way down the block, and when you get near enough to see, there are obviously a bunch of teens passed out drunk on the lawn. This is a full-blown frat house rager. Definitely doesn't seem like Lynura's sort of scene. That's because it isn't! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this! You kind of can't either. You're not even in front of the door and you can already feel the sweat pouring out of your armpits. This is gonna be so much fun! You're scared it was gonna be Zebra. Oh wow. No, they've done that to us enough times. They're done with Zebra. I don't even care if it's kind of a spoiler for the Soleil Twins. There's no Zebra in that route. Or in this one. So y'all can just relax on that. Thank fuck, right? You pass all the smashed lawn teens and go up to knock on the front door. You have to rap on it a few times until the telltale sound of clicking heels faintly reaches your ears. The door opens and you discover that the gracious hostess standing on the other side is none other than your best friend Ardata. Woohoo! She looks surprised to see you for only a moment before her face resolves into a wicked grin. My. Look what the perpies dragged in. Back for more so soon, my sweet? You're not actually sure how much time has passed since you last ran into Ardata, but it doesn't feel like it can be described in any metric by soon. Also, no Vicaire. I feel kind of bad for Vicaire because I kind of forgot that he existed. You just kind of, appeared that one time and then broke half of his fucking limbs and then we just left him there. You've been physically savaged so many times since then, you're not sure what you're blocking out though. You tell Ardata you're really glad to see her, because you totally are. You tell her you weren't expecting her to be hosting a party though. Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a party. More of a friendly kickback of sorts. Sort of exclusive, really. All of the world's finest influencers are here. How exactly did you hear about my little shindig? Why, while I certainly consider you to be one of my finest friends, I don't recall inviting you. You gesture vaguely to Lynera. She doesn't seem to know how to lie, and immediately cracks under the pressure. One of the other jades from my cloister told me to come. His name is Lanque, but I don't think he was invited either. I get the impression we kind of always come out here. Basically, we're crashing, if that's okay. Well, of course. What's an informal soiree without a few entirely uninvited interlopers? Lynera doesn't seem to know if she's being sarcastic or not, and you aren't sure if she is either, to be honest. You're like, are you fucking with us? And she's like, ho ho ho, moo ha ha ha, or whatever. Of course not. I just have but one question for you, my dears. Ardata beckons you near. You obey her slavishly. Then she leans in close to your ear and intones. Do you hereby certify, under penalty of law, that you are of age to view adult content within your state of legal residence, have acknowledged the contents of this volume's accompanying a mature content description, and are comfortable with the prospect of engaging with challenging or otherwise controversial fictional material? So, oh my god, she gets right up in your face to makes you, because the content warning already shows before the Steam page before you buy it, but she just gets right all up in her face and like double makes sure that you fully acknowledge what you are fucking walking into right now. So, your two options are, you bet, Chief, tell her to let you in, and oof, you're too scared. Which, yeah. But, okay, okay, so, we're gonna get the short end out of the way first, but just so you are aware, the short end is not actually that short. Oh my god. Alex, stop. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna click on this one. Oof, you were too scared. Oh man. The sound of that is making you quake in your slutty little boots. Controversial fictional material, you say? Damn, it's oh god. Yeah, no, there's a couple of things that well, we could talk after. Controversial fictional material, you say? Damn, it's almost starting to sound like a woman wrote this. Count you out. Okay, so like, I'm kind of surprised that this line didn't come up more in the discourse, because, like, seriously, what the fuck is that even trying to get at? I know that a lot of what they're doing with this is metafictional poking at the fandom expectations, those sorts of things, but, like, I literally don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, and it just sounds real bad. If anyone else has a clue what the fuck they're trying to get at with that, like, what? Is it supposed to be implying that only women are sensitive to that stuff or care about that stuff? Like, what the fuck? Ugh. Anyway. Ardata clicks her tongue. She reaches for the cup of markers she keeps on a table next to the door and pulls one out. You flinch back as she wields it like a weapon to draw a big blue X on the back of your hand. That's a typo, there should only be one in there. Assuming they mean like romantic picture? Maybe. Here. Now all of my fine guests will know we've a delicate little angel on our hands. And then she turns to Lynura. And what about you, my sweet thing? Huh? Oh, I'm not real, so it's cool. What? Oh my god, I can't believe I glossed over that the first time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of meta jokes in this. Holy shit. Okay, that's actually fucking hilarious, though. They go to ask the other character for her, like, permission, and it's just like, there's not a real person behind her, so she can just do whatever. Fuck. Could be poking fun at the Reddit part? It could be. Yeah. I feel like people don't have to see Reddit because they weren't sure if it was woke or offensive. See, I feel like, okay, I may be a little preemptive to get into this, but I feel like part of the kind of issues that a lot of people have with this route could be solved if the intent of the writer was a little clearer. I feel like it's another one of those situations, like with the Caucasian joke, where it can be interpreted in too many fucking ways, and it's really not clear what the author was trying to get at. Like, regardless of how they originally intended it, it's not clear in the work, and it can be read in some really awful ways, and like ways that you don't even have to dig to read it like that. Like the sounding like a woman wrote it line. I was like really suspicious of that. That's I was kind of like, what the fuck is he implying there? I don't even get it. That, talking about the Reddit community does give it some context, right? But, yeah. It's just a little too... What's he doing here? kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna stop doing that, interrupting the story. Okay. Very well, then. Welcome to the bash. Drinks are free, but if you die of poisoning, you're contractually obligated to croak in range of one of my cameras. Toodaloo. Ardata blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. Pokes too much fun, so it makes it seem like they are the same people who actually think stuff like that. Trouble trying to parody reactionaries is that they're actually like whatever you can think of to parody them. I mean, that's also true. It's just like satire is fucking oh god. Satire is dead because everyone is just that fucking ridiculous these days. But yeah. It sounds too much like something someone would actually say. It doesn't sound like an extremist parody. You and Lynura step past the threshold and have a look around. Lynura is visibly nervous, which is unfortunately a little bit infectious. You ask her where her friend is. She glances about a bit. Oh, I don't know. He's... Oh, over there. You follow her gaze into the living area of the house. It's a far cry from the side outside. The music's not nearly so bumping as you originally thought it was. So, taking a look around this room, we have a couple of cameos in the background here. Which ones will we be able to talk to? Not gonna spoil that one. But I will say, on the left-hand end of the couch, starting from left to right on the screen, left-hand end of the couch is Skyla. I recognize the clown peeking over the side as a background character from, I think Marvis's route? Was it? Not a speaking role, I'm just pointing that out because that is a repeat background character. I find that interesting. We have Diamond at the back, testing out fire, roasting his hot dog over the fire. Oh, Sneak Cat. Here, give him a second. Okay, good, I just had to put an F into chat. The hot dog clown, yeah, hot dog clown. And volume 17. Yeah, so this one's just been like a kind of, I get the feeling that it is, shit, I don't remember which artist this is. Is this? It's Phil Gibson and one other person that have done the backgrounds and the ending screens for the last couple of volumes, I think. But I have a feeling it's one of their OCs. Yes, right, so Diamond at the fireplace, and on the very far right, L-word, leaning against the door frame. Okay, moving along. The whole shebang seems to have a pretty have a pretty chill teenagers drinking Kool-Aid vibe, apart from the fact that's definitely not Kool-Aid. Everybody's milling about, chatting amiably. You spot a few familiar faces. Diamond flirting with... Oh yeah, I forgot that it literally tells you that in the dialogue. Oh well. Diamond flirting with roasting his Frank in the hearth. L-word leaning casually against the doorframe to the kitchen and talking to a cute girl. Skyla recounting some enrapturing rodeo capture to a group of gathered trolls. It's a really diverse roster of friendly folks. You spot who Lynura is pointing to at the center of the parlor's arrangement of couches and armchairs, sat among a group of friends on the floor. The only other Jade blood in the room. He's even more impeccably dressed and done up than the rest of the markedly fashion-forward Jades you've met. When he catches sight of Lynura, his face lights up, and he rises to make his way over and greet you. Get ready for this. Immediate mood change with the music. This song is called Valid End. Yeah, so that's... There's the context for this. Yes, that is a flower crown. The epilogue is tomorrow's really guy. But spoilers, yeah. Wait until you've seen the whole thing, is all I'm gonna say, because there's some interesting turns over this route and the next one. Okay. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna start. Woo, let's hop into this. Oh, Lynura, you've made it after all. I was starting to think you weren't going to come. Well, surprise! I didn't. Not come, I mean. I did come. Hi, I'm here. Well, you cringe, but Lanque seems otherwise unaffected by Lynura's astonishingly embarrassing display. He turns to you with a warm smile. He reminds you of your cousin. Aw. And who's this? And who's this? You can't help but get a little flustered when your eyes meet. His makeup and stylings might lean to the severe and feminine, but he has a contrastively calming and masculine voice that puts you at ease straight away. He seems to have quite the opposite effect on Lynura. Before you can answer yourself, she starts blabbering a mile a minute. Oh, this is my friend. I invited them. They're an alien, I guess. And I almost murdered them because I was jealous of their friendship with Bronya, lol. But I didn't, and now we're friends. And I'm starting to work past my self-destructive obsession with her, and they agreed to come with me because I'm socially anxious and afraid of you. Well... Oh, that's awfully nice of them. Hold on, sorry. No, that was a lot at once. Let me reorganize the statement into a clear and digestible list of bullet points. You've absolutely no need to do that, Lynura. I've understood your points just fine. Yes, he paints his nails red. Red being kind of a rebel color on Alternia. Oh, okay. Lanque looks back at you. Thank you for helping Lynura feel more comfortable here. Why don't you come and sit with us? Lanque turns and gestures to the other trolls he was speaking with before. A teal-blooded boy and an indigo-blooded girl, neither of whom you recognize. They both have notebooks in their laps. They give you friendly waves. Okay, sounds great. What were you doing? What are we doing? We were just in the middle of a poetry reading. I don't know if you've prepared anything of your own to share, but you might find it relaxing just to listen. Poetry? Lynera's face has gone bright green. Oh boy. But also Lynera, I know, Lynera's freaking. Lynera's freaking out a little bit. No, I'm just catching up with chat. You can't handle the tea time music. This track is called Valid End. I think I mentioned that before. But just to make sure I get out there. Yes, fucking poetry. I mean, it says, what is it? What are the exact words? On his troll call, the new troll call bullet points: sharp fashion, sharper tongue, occasional poet, and emotional vampire. Why would you think I've written any poetry? I don't really. It was merely a suggestion. Have you? Well, maybe. Wait. No! You put a comforting hand on Lynera's shoulder, intuiting immediately that she has indeed written plenty of poetry, but is embarrassed by the prospect of sharing any of it. You remind her she's among trusted friends here and has nothing to fear. Oh, I guess you're right. Well then, please come and join us. Sitting cross-legged on the floor. Yeah. Because the only song you're playing for 7 hours. Oh, yeah. No, it's such a bop, right? It is a genuinely good track because it's fucking James Roach, but party music. Woo! Okay. Lanque leads you back to his group, inviting you to sit down with them in a circle. Lynera goes to deliberate lengths to insert you between herself and Lanque so that you're the one sitting next to him. Why don't we pick back up where we left off? I was just about to read my latest piece. You say, that sounds great. Lanque's two friends close their eyes and take each other's hands. You and Lynera are both plenty surprised when Lanque and the Indigo Blood sitting next to Lynera, try to take yours too to close the circle. And your obviously shocked expression, Lanque explains. We find physical contact helps us feel closer on a spiritual level during our poetry sessions, but if you aren't comfortable with it, you're under no obligation. You feel really respected right now, so you and Lynera both assent to join the circle. She even takes the initiative to hold your hand first. Yeah, W's and V's are capitalized. That's Lanque's quirk. Lanque reaches out and takes your fingers gently in his. You don't know what it is, but you can't help yourself from blushing shyly. His hand is soft and warm in yours, short red nails immaculately manicured. Then let me begin. This is a short poem I've written in free verse, based on something haunting me as of late. Reflecting back on one of my most complicated and passionate past relationships. Forgive me, this might be a bit raw. It is, as of yet, untitled. Lanque draws a deep breath and closes his eyes. His notebook is open on his lap. You can see the poem written there in an elegant hand, but he doesn't need to look at it to recite the words. What is the meaning of a memory? A question I oft ponder, intangible and untraceable by anything but the mind, yet so potent as to leave one sick, as if poisoned or wounded in a literal sense. And what is the meaning, and what meaning is there in regret and longing? Can my lamentations change the past? Will they move the future? Shall they amount to much more than what unmoors my here and now? If I restrict my world to that but which is before my eyes, to those whom I may touch, to that which I might alter, one would no doubt conclude that thoughts of you are last among what I would consider to matter. And still you haunt me yet like a scar, like a disease uneager to abate. Who are you, and who am I after so long without you? I know, I don't know, I won't know. But what I do know, but what I know, and what I can, and what can it even mean to know? No, no, no! Ugh, though it so vexes me, though so little I valued it when it was before me, and a thing a you I could touch, what? Ah, nope, I just read that wrong. Nope, we're good. Fuck, I had such a good flow going. A thing and a you I could touch and see and know and hate and wonder, revile and worship. Now it and you are a traceless ghost, and I preoccupy myself with nothing but futile tasks of redefinition and reinterpretation, and circuitous dwellings on that which I understand even less now. That in times when my wonderings might have been so easily answered with a question or a bite or a kiss, or even a single word spoken honestly. Pressed though I am to give color to our bond, I look not to onyx nor ash, but that which pulses within our very veins, that so blinding jade, hard as the stone for which it is so named, twisted and pulled, hammered and forged, shaped unnaturally as if a chain, a stricture within scriptures, a certain so meaningful tincture. Resent you though I must, envy you though I may, now leagues and leagues stretch between us, and I make peace with naught but what I say. You are only that which is within me, my blood and my mind, and that is at once nothing, and the most elementary definition of everything. Damn. Rosen Kanaya's future shadow. Yeah, that has actually been done in fan art a couple of times, I believe. Yes, so some people are saying they suspect that it is an X, like a relationship X. Other people are saying that he's talking about his relationship with himself. Those are kind of the two most popular theories at the moment for what exactly that was all about. You realize you were holding your breath when Lanque finally finishes. The circle falls into meaningful silence, taut as a wire. The tension breaks when his eyes flutter open, tears spilling over his long lashes. You squeeze Lanque's hand gently. He weeps silently and beautifully. Such powerful art. He musters a wan smile as he gazes across the circle at Lynura. Lynura, would you like to read next? Lynura looks stunned. There's moisture gathering in the corner of her eyes. Of course, anyone would be moved by something so emotional and raw. I guess I have a poem I could read. Lynura takes out her planner and opens it, breaking the circle of held hands. She can't recite it from memory like Lanque. When she speaks, her voice is small and timid. This one's called Still. I'm still. I sit still. I do what I'm told still. I wonder about the way that I am and I think. Still? I see her every day, and I still miss her. She hugs me, and I still feel cold. I'm surrounded by people, and I'm still alone. I'm still me. I still love her, and I still hate that. Wow. You're really... Lynura. That's... Yeah, that was so fucking emotional. How the fuck do you follow that up? That's how. That... It is... quality, not quantity when it comes to fucking poetry. Lanque's was long and flowing and shit, but like, what the fuck was that about? You immediately grab Lynura's emotion and what she's talking about right off the bat. If you can't tell, I do actually prefer Lynura's poetry to Lanque's. I was a bit into slam poetry when I was in high school. I mainly got sucked into it because my partner at the time was hells of into it, and then I tried my hand at it too, but... Okay, Israeli guy, that topic is way too heavy for this stream and has nothing to do with what we're actually reading right now. So I'm gonna put up a stop sign on that conversation before it even starts. I mean, yes, no, I agree. They are both very good. But I have a slight preference. You were in creative writing club in middle school. Yeah. I was always super into writing too. We didn't have a creative writing club at my school, but I got like heavy into creative writing assignments and like that kind of jazz. I wanted to be an author at one point. I'm happy with the direction that I'm going with stuff right now, though. Keep having to refresh. Ah, shit. In high school. Yeah. Yeah, we had a creative writing club in my high school, but it didn't last very long. There weren't a lot of people who were interested. Most of the people who were interested did not show up to, like, any of the meetings, or maybe showed up to, like, 1 or 2 and then never again. Fuck, is it, like, breaking down and shit? Okay, so, okay, I found a setting today, that was for, like, prioritizing high quality or prioritizing getting the shit out there. So are you all okay with maybe having lower visual quality? Because I can change that priority so that I can stop stream and restart in a minute after changing that priority. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that might help. Oh, are we back? Okay, well, hopefully clearing up the tabs should help. Sorry, I was not super paying attention. Okay. Now we're back. Can hear music without breaks. Woo! Okay, so hopefully we'll be smooth sailing from here on out. Please and fucking thank you, OBS and Wi-Fi and Twitch. Okay, so Lynera just finished reading her poem. That is where we were. Wow. You're really proud of Lynera for opening up like this. She's crying too. She's crying too now. You reach out to take her hand back in yours. The indigo blood beside her comfortingly strokes her shoulder. Sorry, it's not really good and long like yours, Lanque. I'm not really a poet or anything. I just wrote down how I feel. Lynera, it's fine. I thought it was beautiful. Poetry is about expressing yourself. It's not important that it be any set length or sound any certain way. All that matters is that you've spoken your blood pressure. And I think you've accomplished that remarkably. We're all very proud of you. You find yourself drawn into a group hug by Lanque and the other trolls. Lynera is sobbing openly now, and her raw emotion seems to have inspired similar pathos in others. Before you know it, you feel yourself tearing up too. It feels good to get it all out. But before long, it's becoming clear Lynera is kind of reaching her limit. She pulls back and sniffles out something about wanting to go home. Of course, Lynera, if that's what you need. I'll take you back to the I'll talk to you back at the cloister. Okay. See to it that she gets back safe, will you? You tell Lanque that of course you will, and take Lynera carefully by the hand to lead her out of the party. She squeezes your fingers back to let you know she appreciates you. Eating cake batter! Oh my god, Sneak Cat. I hope it's not cake batter with raw eggs in it, because that's not good. You walk back from the party in a comfortable silence for a while. When you glance over at her face, it occurs to you that you've never seen Lynera this happy. Of course, this is literally the second time you've ever seen her. That is a typo and incorrect. clearing the tabs helped. Yeah, I'm sure that a whole bunch of them were, like, running shit in the background that I didn't even realize was going on. But this is actually the third time that we've seen Lynera, because we also see her during Wanshi's Good End. So you guess you don't actually have much of a frame of reference for what her normal emotional state actually is. And keep that tidbit in mind for later. You really want to encourage her on this path of recovery she's going down and all, so you ask her about, you know, her and Lanque. What? You know, her and Lanque? What? We're just friends. I mean, it's not like I have a crush on him or anything. I know I've had romantic feelings for a girl before, so it'd be really problematic if I liked a boy now. This line is one of the ones that got people really fucking mad, because depending on your perspective, some people saw it as taking a jab at biphobia in fandoms, and other people took it as mocking lesbians for wanting characters that are exclusively lesbian. Again, with the intentions of the author super not being clear throughout this whole route, but honest intentions, I'm guessing, were probably the whole, you know, poking fun at biphobia in fandoms. Yeah, I mean, that's how I took it on my first read anyway. I looked at that and I was like, oh my god. Yeah. That, basically, yep. Yeah. Guess what? Blake, are you okay? Are you seriously okay? What do you mean you'll choke? I can't tell. Speaking of choking, Jesus Christ. I'm joking on my own spit. I cannot tell if you are just using that colloquially or if you, like... Are you okay? Yeah, so that's this one. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But I really do think it's just poking fun at biphobia in fandoms, and fandom spaces, and that, sort of thing. Oh, you say, you're sorry. You didn't know. It's okay, just don't let it happen again. Ugh. Lynera gives a warm smile and reaches out to pull you into a hug. Thank you for helping me. I was really nervous, and I think if it hadn't been for your help, I wouldn't have been able to come at all. But I did, so thanks. It wasn't perfect, but I think I really opened up tonight. I'll see Lanque again, and you, I hope. And in the future, things will be easier, right? You're certain they will. You put a comforting arm around her shoulder and walk her the rest of the way home. You feel like this night has really taught you an important lesson. Not everything is about collecting the largest quantity of friends as humanly possible. Sometimes strengthening your bond with someone you already know can be just as rewarding. So screw you, you say, to the concept of good endings and bad endings and narrative railroading. This route makes you feel heckin' valid, and that's fine by you. Valid, hence the name of the track for this route. Is Twitch still fucking around? Oh my god. I honestly, like, I don't know what else I can really... I have shut down anything that might... And I can't fucking close Chrome altogether because I need to have it open to see, you know, to check on stream health and to look at chat. Stream health is actually looking okay at the moment. Which is why all of these weird glitches are weird. That was a redundant sentence. Which said no boys allowed. Yeah, I mean, I've got Discord open, but that has never caused any issues before. too much broke because Lanque was too handsome. Anyway, hopefully over break the situation will clarify itself. I know the cape. Oh, shit. Fuck. No. No. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that, and I'm mad that it showed up. Okay. Back to the main menu. Options, music, volume. All the way down. Alright, it is break time. Yeah. Okay. So, 5 minutes. Hopefully stream will sort itself out. Gonna play some tunes. These tunes, by the way, are from the James Roach soundtrack, which was released on SoundCloud last Friday. So I will link you to that in chat right now. You have to... No, stop it. You need to erase it from your fucking memory, okay? Stop. Oh my god, if it would just load. There we go. There's the link. You're getting a glass of water. We finished the short end, and it showed us a screen it wasn't supposed to. That's related to a thing that we're streaming tomorrow. Anyway, that's that. Just paste that in there. Okay. So, where's my music? OBS music. Okay, good. So, 5 minutes. And then we shall resume for the not safe for work side of things, agreeing to the NSFW warning. Okay, it's spoilery, so I'll just message you on Discord about it. Okay, 5 minutes. Hey, folks. Back from break. Music volume up. Okay. So, we are about to head into the side of the route where we accept the not safe for work content agreement, which means that we are going to run into basically everything that was in the content warning. So I'm just going to toss it out there that if there is anyone viewing the stream who is under the age of 18, please stop, because I am not going to be the person that shows the inappropriate crap to a minor, because that is very inappropriate and creepy of me as a 21-year-old. So please and thank you. Please actually heed by the warning asking for you to verify that you are of the age to view adult content within your state of legal residence. Because otherwise it's just uncomfortable, the experience. Yeah. Hence why I marked off the stream as mature. Okay. Hopefully, if there was anyone viewing this under the age of 18, they have made the right decision by this point. Without further ado, you bet, Chief. Tell her to let you in. That's good to hear. Why don't you come right in then, my dear? I don't want to see you making any little posts online about how my party was too fucking problematic for you, though. Once again, I point to author intention being way too ambiguous. With who exactly is supposed to be being made fun of with that statement. Ardata steps back and welcomes you again into her abode with a grandiose gesture. You're very, very excited for Ardata's party, and know definitively that you will enjoy absolutely every second of what she has in store for you. Once you've stepped in past the threshold, Ardata blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. So this is obviously a very different party scene than we saw previously. It looks like the same backdrop, but with a shitload more people who look way more wasted. Okay, we can see Skyla just to the left of dead center. Diamond kind of on the right-hand side. And there is no Outward. The first thing that hits you once you're in is the door is the music. It's a solid wall of bass that reverberates through your body down to your bones. The intense dance track is blasting so loud that you can hardly hear yourself think. It has to be this loud to drown out all the shouting coming from the living room. Hot dogs are talking to each other. Oh my god, yeah, I didn't notice that. That's so cute. As you apprehensively advance, it becomes quickly clear that Lynura is completely out of her element here. She's a bundle of nerves beside you, practically glued to your hip. When you actually step into the living room, she physically attaches herself to your left arm. Don't put in the floor. Wow, this is more than I was expecting! You too. It's a scene of absolute chaos. The living room of the house is filled to the brim with rowdy teens dancing rhythmlessly to the pounding music. The furniture has all been knocked over or otherwise destroyed, and you can make a pretty good guess of what's filling all the red cups you see in everyone's hands. You're about to tell Lynura you wouldn't blame her if she wanted to dip, but you can't get the words out before you're being flagged down by a jade-blooded boy who's just muscled his way out of But you can't get the words out before you're being flagged down by a jade-blooded boy who's just muscled his way out of the throng of partygoers with a few of his friends in tow. Give you a second to soak up this music. Because it is different. It is a different song. This one is called Y'all Know I Only Do the Music, right? And it is by James Roach. Lynura, you made it. Lynura all but flings herself away from your body and freezes like a scared animal as the troll approaches. For all the commotion and ruckus, he's still remarkably well put together. The vigorous dance huddle doesn't seem to have disturbed his sharp makeup or his impeccably coiffed hair. There is a curious red stain down the front of his white shirt, though. Once again, content warning misogynist language. He has a slutty-looking indigo-blooded girl on his right arm and an even sluttier-looking teal-blooded boy on his left, though he shakes them off and waves them away by the time he reaches you and Lynura at the entryway to the room. Hi, Lanque. Yeah, I'm here. You watch with amusement as Lynura practically bursts into flame under his gaze, and it only gets worse when he sidles up to her and gives her a startlingly intimate embrace. She squeaks and tries to hug him back, but is too timid to actually touch him with her hands. You can see the sweat pouring down her face. After a solid 5 seconds that seem to include Lanque smelling Lynura's hair, he pulls back to smile down at Lynura with a heavy gaze. Lynura's face is bright green, and her eyes are bugging out of her skull from how flustered she is. But she's not into it, you don't think? It's hard to tell, but you kind of get the impression he'd be dead by now if she weren't. Either way, it's awkward. Lucky for Lynura, Lanque either doesn't notice you or doesn't care. He settles into a comfortable, for him, posture with his arm casually around Lynura's waist and turns to you. Oh, who's this? This is my friend? Yeah! Lanque quirks an eyebrow. You have friends? The question seems to leave Lynura speechless, so Lanque takes the opportunity to look back at you. His eyes rake up and down your body in a way that leaves you feeling distinctly objectified. Oh, aren't you interesting? Is there a reason you look like that? What a question. He doesn't explain what that is specifically referring to, and given both your alien status and your state of dress, it could mean any number of things. You might take it as an insult if not for the way he licks his lips after he says it. He can't seem to pry his eyes off of you. You look at Lynura for a cue, but she's too out of it to give you any sort of intelligible sign. So you just explain how you crash-landed on this alien planet an indeterminate amount of time ago, and you don't really know what you're doing or much of anything about anything. The fact of your appearance could be either due to this, or that you are generally a disaster of a being, irrespective of your planetary origin. How fascinating. I've never met an alien before. Well, you have. Well, you have. Lots of times. In fact, literally everyone and everything here is alien to you. You find your word diarrhea becoming more and more awkward and embarrassing as Lanque's eyes start burning a hole in the center of your chest. Haha, there's no need to be shy. I don't bite until asked. Ah! Lanque disconnects himself from Lynura as he rounds on you. It's like he's lost any interest in her existence now that you're in front of him. Lynura looks at you with a completely pathetic expression that readily informs you as to what your response needs to be. You'll be damned if you aren't going to be the best wingman possible, so you deftly ignore Lanque's blatant pass and turn the conversation back to Lynura. You ask Lanque how long he and Lynura have known each other. Lanque raises his eyebrows at the question. Well, I suppose since she was chosen for the cloister, some number of sweeps ago. I don't remember really. It was 2.43 sweeps. Oh, right. Then that many, I guess. Huh. That's a pretty long time, actually. Yeah. Pretty impressive that you've managed to... Oh. Okay. I'm gonna... Content warning again for misogynistic language. Coming up. Pretty impressive that you managed to go a solid 2.4 of them without saying a single word to me that wasn't circulated to me secondhand from your snide gossiping behind my back. Woo! Okay. Wow. Talk about whiplash. Lynura's eyes get big like saucers. What? What are you? I don't know what you're talking about! The tone of conversation has totally morphed from fire to ice in an instant, though neither Lanque's expression nor demeanor have changed much. He slips in the knives with all the calm composure of a casual statement. And now we see evidence of point number 2, sharp dresser, sharper tongue. What, are you going to pretend you didn't spend the better part of the past 2.5 sweeps complaining about how much I disgusted you? Come now. You do know that everyone is aware you're a nasty little bitch, right, Lynura? Ah! I mean, don't take it the wrong way. I really don't mind. I'm hardly in a position to criticize. I was just curious what caused this sudden change of heart after so long decrying my vain and slatternly lifestyle. Have the impending ordeals finally made the little clock start to tick down in that dry, dusty nook of yours? Ah! Did you figure I was the only one who might be loose enough to be willing to clean out the cobwebs before you get shipped off to Space Church and never have the chance again? Just wondering. Woo-wee! So, he's, he's really going for it. We don't really know enough about Lynura to say whether or not any of this is justified at all. Like, I'm inclined to say, fuck you, Lanque, that's super harsh and really mean. Yeah, I know, right? Finish just wondering, how fucking passive-aggressive can you get? There's a long, excruciating moment where Lynura says nothing. She just stares up at Lanque, and Lanque beside her with a completely shell-shocked expression. But before you can try to pipe up in Lynura's defense, she bursts into tears. Oh no. When Lynura suddenly turns and makes a mad dash to run out the door and away from the party, you're torn between running after her and giving this jerk a real piece of your mind. Your mind's made up when you look back at Lanque just in time to catch him rolling his eyes. Hey, you say, that was kind of rude, don't you think? Lanque snorts. Me? Rude? Are you perhaps attempting to fuck with me? Clearly you haven't spent much time around this bitter pill if you think that was anything short of precisely what she deserves. You concede you maybe don't have a full enough grasp on Jadeblood Cloister social dynamics to make a definitive judgment on whether or not Lynura deserved to have been so ruinously owned. But she's your friend, and what good are you if you don't stick up for the people you care about? I have no idea what even got her so upset. Like I said, it's not like I really care what she says about me, but you don't get to spend as much time as she does being such a venomous little snake and act surprised when someone calls you out on it. Then why did you invite her, you ask? It seems needlessly cruel of Lanque to lead her on under false pretenses, if he never intended to be her friend at all. I promise you I had no such designs. The only reason I even invited her to this thing is that my ex was being a real blood-sucking bitch and no one else wanted to go. I was willing to give her an honest shot, but I've no time for a vicious, slandering nag who can't even admit what she is. I thought it might be interesting to see what that crusty little shrew might be like if you could manage to wrestle her bulge free of whatever excruciating knot she's got it tied into, but I guess now we'll never know. So, that's a lot. Still not sure if I'm really with him on this one. Don't really think I am. Well, this is clearly a conversation you're going to have to Switzerland out of pretty soon. What? You try to explain the historical significance of Switzerland's political neutrality on your home planet. Lanque's eyes glaze over like he's listening to you recite a sports almanac of cricket stats. That's nice. Anyway. Woo! That's... Since I seem to have scared away my date, why don't you stay a while so you and I can get to know each other a little better? You seem much more interesting than she is anyway. When did Lanque get up so close to you? Your heart beats a little faster when he smiles at you like that, so poisonous and shamelessly laced with intent. Lynura is definitely not the only one coming off like a snake here. I've less time to waste than most, my dear. Never seen the value in beating around the bush. So Lanque is basically what he has just stated there, and he does reiterate a little later, is that he's very close to the ordeals. He's very close to being shipped off planet. So that's a rough measure of his age. Well, maybe it'd be socially prudent for you to go after Lynura and make sure she's okay. But it's also not her volume of the friend sim, so instead of doing that, you're gonna stick around and see what this spectacularly briary prima donna is all about. It's not her volume of the friend sim. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm trying to find the definition of briary. Oh, okay, just like covered in barbs. Okay. Good night, Sneak Cat. Have a good evening. You had your fucking chance to bail out of this shit show, but all that's left to do now is barrel downhill as meteorically as you can manage. Fantastic. Care to dance? Why the fuck not? Lanque laughs pleasantly and reaches out to take you by the hand. The contact gives you a little thrill despite yourself. He's got nice hands, soft and warm and well taken care of, and you know it's going to be one hell of a ride wherever he's taking you. Come with me. We have a kitchen with no recognizable trolls. You do. He doesn't lead you straight to the dance floor, though. He takes you around the throng of dancing partygoers over to the kitchen of the house first. You weren't expecting to find a familiar face waiting for you there. Get ready. Okay, before I hit enter, take a guess. You can say it in chat or in your head. Okay. Ta-da! It's Elward, who we saw lurking in the back. Fancy meeting you here. You don't find it that surprising, honestly. You two know each other? You could say that. That's just great. That's just great. Do you give discounts to friends? I sure fucking don't. You know the price, pretty boy. Pay up. You're a little confused. What is being purchased here exactly? Elward gives you a funny look. You a drone? Oh, by the way, just like really feel like it's important to point out the incredibly hilarious juxtaposition of their sprite styles, because unlike Lanque, Elward does not have a nose or ears. You a drone? What? Hush. You do as you're told and watch as Lanque and Elward carry out their shady transaction. Lanque hands over the credits and receives an opaque little baggie of something in return. Thought I'd seen the last of your KKS. Yeah, so once again, I'm gonna say, if you're not over the age of 18, please go. I am not fully comfortable with getting into the later parts of this route with a very young audience. You do as you're told and watch as... Okay. Oh, well. You guess you don't... Oh, well. You guess you don't really need to see what's in the thing to figure out what it is at this point. As soon as the deal is done, Lanque has his hand at the small of your back and is deftly guiding you away from the scene of the crime. Is buying drugs a crime here? You aren't really well versed about the laws of Alternia, but it honestly doesn't seem like anybody would give much of a shit about anybody doing drugs here. You guess the clandestine transactions are just for the aesthetic. Lanque's got you back in a shady corner of the party and is pressing one of the tablets he bought into your hand with a sly grin. He expects you to join in. You're like, hold on a minute. Your experiences with alien drugs haven't really been that great, honestly, and you're not sure you're that excited for a repeat performance. Lanque's immediate response is to sneer. Oh, I see. You're one of those people. One of what people? You know. A bit boring, maybe? There are many words that could be used to describe you, but you don't think boring is a remote contender. You're always doing all kinds of unbelievably stupid shit and getting into uncountable wacky and life-threatening situations. Is it really that fucking much to ask for there to be one time you don't rush headfirst into doing something you know is gonna fuck you up and be totally awful? Lanque's lips press into a thin, annoyed line. These things aren't cheap, you know. I bought them for you. Well, you didn't ask him to do that, did you? Oh, come on. You're really going to be like this? Yeah, you totally are. Lanque sighs dramatically. Fine. Surprise! I forgot this was coming. Surprise! It's hot dog guy. Okay, brace yourselves for literally the best line in all of Hiveswap Friendsim. Lanque casts around for the nearest victim and grabs his attention with a hand around the wrist. To your dismay, it is your sweet and innocent hot dog chum, Diamond. Alas, there's nothing you can do to stop him from falling prey to Lanque's wicked designs. Here, have these. Oh yeah, great. Thanks. I love to put drugs on my wiener. And that is the best fucking line in all of Hiveswap Friendsim. Oh my god. The guy is just a walking dick joke. Oh, wow. So, I would make some joke about how, oh my god, I'm a fucking 12-year-old, but like, literally, pretty much everyone I know who is in their who is around my age or who is like in their like late 20s or 30s would also laugh their fucking asses off at this. So like, that's that. The way through this volume to see Diamond put drugs on his wiener. I know. Oh god. Okay. Like a fucking classic. Okay, moving along. The drugs are now out of the picture. What a tragedy. But before you know it, Lanque has a hold of you again and is dragging you off. Let's just dance. You're not too much of a square to do that, are you? Of course not. Dancing is basically the only thing you actually plan to come here to do, so that's just great. You go along with Lanque enthusiastically when he pulls you over to the writhing massive bodies bumping and grinding on the dance floor. You get down to it. You discover that Lanque has a very interesting dancing style. And by interesting, you mean it primarily consists of directly grinding his body against yours in an incredibly shameless fashion. So here's the sprite, and this pose is, it might seem familiar because it looks pretty similar to Marvis in the armpit scene. I do believe the same artist did both of these roots. But pressed in as you are from all sides by sweaty and inebriated bodies, there's not exactly much room for Troll Gigas to begin with. Lanque is up on you so close, it's hard not to sweat. He has his hands at your hips and your face fixed with sharp eyes. His heavy stare is nearly hypnotic, so blatant and undisguised in his expression. It's clear what he wants. And maybe that's more than you're prepared to give, but when he looks at you like that, it's impossible to look away. You just go with it. Why not? It feels good, and it's not like anyone else is watching. You're surrounded by trolls, boxed in and pouring sweat, and yet it feels like you're the only two people there. Why did I remind you of that? Because that's what it immediately visually reminded me of. The phrase Troll Gigas 2018 was like being punched in the mouth. I know, that was like a way back reference, holy shit. Lanque draws in, teeth by your ear, and this close you can hear him easily when even over the overwhelming pound of bass. The only other one of the troll who wants to fuck besides Zebra. You have the palest skin I've ever seen. Yeah. You tell him you're literally FFFFFF white, which is like blank. That makes you super racially inoffensive, FYI. You let Lanque know that he can see you any way he wants, which is even more woke than making a decision. So... like, what is the author trying to... oh my god. Like, is he trying to acknowledge... is he saying that he agrees with that statement and is poking fun at people who don't agree? Is he saying that he doesn't agree and trying to make a mockery of it? Is what, like, authorial intent when you are doing shit like this is important to get across. And once again, the authorial intent is completely not clear at all in this fucking statement. Which, of course, this was another one that a lot of people were kind of like, what the fuck? Thin as paper. I can see all the way inside you. All your veins and your red blood. You smell like candy. I wonder how you'd taste. Wow, you say. That's like some shit that a vampire would say. Presuming I'm a rainbow drinker would be an awfully reductive and literal reading of my character. Which the authorial intent there is very fucking clear that V thinks that everyone who assumed Lanque was a rainbow drinker is being reductive and literal. I'm just making a blatant sexual pass. Oh, okay. Good thing that's all cleared up. You take this as an opportunity to really let loose, showing off everything you've got in the sexy dance acumen department. Lanque is a little bewildered. What are you doing? You're like, what aren't I doing? There's a fire on the dance floor and you struck the match. You're just fucking it up down here. Really getting it. Breaking it down. Bopping and crumping and whatever. You're smashing your ass into everyone around you and getting hot and heavy with those lusty moves. There is a point where Lanque has to step back and you presume to properly behold your art in all its glory. But it soon becomes clear that it's not your prodigious dancing skills that have given him pause. You follow his startled gaze and see the cause for alarm. Bronya is here, and she looks pissed. Oh shit. Bronya is still standing in the entryway, contending with Ardata, and it looks like she hasn't caught sight of you yet. But Lanque isn't wasting any time. Mom's home! Yeah, Mama noticed that someone's missing. Before you realize what's happening, Lanque has you by the wrist and is hauling you away from the dance floor and off down a hallway. Lanque finds safety in a bedroom, a respite block, you remind yourself, when you take stock of the conspicuous absence of any bed in the presence of the revolting-looking slime cocoon in which trolls allegedly spend their repose. You hold each other in a tense and nervous silence pressed against the locked door. What feels like an eternity passes, your breath held. The sound of your blood rushing through your own ears is almost enough to drown out the music. Seconds turn to minutes and nobody comes to find you. It seems, for now, you've escaped Bronya's notice. Once again, I'm going to fucking reiterate, if you're under the age of 18, please fucking leave. When you turn your head to look back at Lanque, you find he's been staring at you for some time. I haven't been able to take my eyes off you since the moment I first saw you. You're just so interesting. You freeze like a hare staring down a snake. Lanque lifts his hand to brush a thumb across your cheek, fingers curling under your chin. You meet his eyes. His pupils are so black. I want to know what it'd be like to kiss you. Lanque's tongue darts out to wet his painted lips. Do you want to kiss me? Whoa. Well, you've already clicked on at least 2 mature content disclaimers to get this far. Why the hell not? Lanque leans in and presses his lips against yours. He kisses much more sweetly than he looks. His lips are soft and wet and taste like blackberries. This beats out making out with a couple of greasy teens behind a dumpster, that's for sure. When one of his sharp fangs nicks your bottom lip, you don't even care. But when a drop of your blood beads out onto his invasive tongue, Lanque draws back just an inch. You taste sharp and dangerous, like a weapon. Is that a good thing? It's not a bad thing. Lanque pulls back further. His hand slips from your cheek and his fingers trail down your neck to rest on your collar, thumb brushed against the thrum of your pulse. I reiterate, just in case. Y'all know the warning I'm giving here. Have you ever paled before? Lanque shrugs off his jacket and starts unbuttoning his shirt. Whoa, 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 is this really gonna go there? You're like, well, no, you've never done any alien intercourse with a bucket, but it doesn't look like he even has one on him at the moment. That was apparently the wrong thing to say, because Lanque's face scrunches up in displeasure. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat reactions. I'm just gonna keep motoring through this. Like, y'all are just gonna flip the fuck out, and I'm just gonna keep going. Don't mock me. It's my first time. You figure laughing would constitute mocking him, so you don't. But the look you'll give him seems to say enough. Us jades who live in the cloisters have been chosen for a very special duty. We're expected to adopt a chaste and ascetic life in service to the continuation of our species. And when we undergo our ordeals in our sent-off world, there's no such thing as sneaking out of the caverns. If I don't do this now, when? My life is nearly over. Will you help me feel alive? But before you can answer, Bronya's voice starts to rise shrill above the heavy music. Lanque! Lanque's hands shoot out at lightning speed to draw you close. Before you can so much as gasp, he presses one of his palms over your mouth to keep you quiet. Oh shit, she's getting close. And from the sound of it, she's getting closer. Lanque! I know you're here! You need to come out and come home right now! Lanque leans in close to your ear. Shh. What will you do? Yeah, he's just gonna fuck an alien. So, here is where I ask you, in chat, what do we do? Scream for Bronya? Or let this happen and see where it goes? Let's fuck the alien. Okay, so I have one vote for keeping quiet. Asking for it the whole time. Obviously we fuck the alien. Okay. Chat has spoken. Keep quiet. You want to see where this goes. You keep your mouth shut and wait for Bronya to pass. She only shouts for a little while longer before the sound of her voice fades away. There are too many blocks in this hive for her to be trying to break down the door to every one, and she didn't look too closely at this one. You've lost her. When it becomes clear that Bronya is gone for good, Lanque lets his hand fall away from your lips. You feel him smile against your ear. Where were we? You turn in Lanque's arms and look up into his blazing eyes. How can you alien pale without a bucket? I don't mind doing it without one. Sometimes it's fun to get a little messy, don't you think? Just gonna yell a little bit. Okay. You're like, weren't you just saying this was your first time? Lanque answers you with another kiss. This time, he means business. Yeah, MC Chan. Oh, that probably flashed up on the screen way too fast for y'all in chat to get. Let me actually take a minute to find that picture. And I really don't want to be fussing around with switching to browser mode right now. Or I guess here, I'll link you to the source post as well. So basically, I mean, they said in the content warning that the references to sexually explicit things weren't, like, they weren't actually going to show anything on screen, and they didn't. That's all we got. Whew. You go all the way with this super slutty alien, and then you slump out on the ground, completely wasted. Okay. Maybe this all went kind of off the rails, but you have to admit, it would have been a real shame if you'd gone through this entire extraterrestrial adventure and never got to smash even a single alien. What would even be the fucking point, honestly? This guy really did a whole number on you. You're lying spread eagle on the floor as Lanque is putting his clothes back on. Man, this is probably your most accomplished friendship to date. You're not quite ready to move just yet, but since you and Lanque are such good chums now, you figure now's as good a time as any to ask for his chitter. Lanque seems surprised to even hear you speak. Huh? You want to add me on chitter? Yeah, you say. Isn't that what friends do? Oh, sorry, I can't. My palm husk is broken right now, Lanque says while typing away furiously on his palm husk. He doesn't even look down at you. You're like, but you're using it right now? Lanque rolls his eyes. I thought you would take the obvious hint. What obvious hint? Lanque huffs. Look, I was trying to be nice, but you just weren't that good, babe. I don't often ring the same bell twice, but if I were going to consider it, you'd have to show me a better performance than that. Whoa. Whoa, indeed. So there's like a number of things in here that are kind of like, just for Lanque as a character, not great. Making fun of the main character for not wanting to do drugs and trying to force them on anyway. And then we find out here, he's a fucking liar. It was absolutely not his first time, which you could kind of pick up on from earlier in the route as well. But nah, he was just in this for a quick fuck. And this was absolutely not his first time, and he's a regular, because, I mean, I don't often ring the same bell twice, you know, implying that this is a thing he's done many times before, and he absolutely fucking lied about it being his first time. And all of those things, and all the stuff that he said to Lynura, hence the warning for abuse tactics. How did they word it? Manipulative behavior, abusive behavior, something like that. But, like, y'all catch my drift. Holy shit. That's that, you guess. Your lowest low. Your first time banging an alien and you couldn't even satisfy him. That's the MSPA reader. That's just the point. It was your first time. You don't get down on yourself if you were not good the first time. Come on. Just like being emotionally supportive of MSPA reader in this moment. Yeah. No, don't. Don't do that. Oh no. A little seed of worthlessness takes root inside of you and germinates so explosively that it fills you up until there's basically nothing left. You die of shame instantly. Shamed to death. And off he goes. So that is the bad end. Only one other end left to get through. Why didn't I just load my game file? Anyway. Alright. So that's the bad end. The bad end is... Lanque, basically is just like, fucks you and then ghosts you. Yes, the revenge. Call mom. Calling his mom. This has gotten problematic enough. Which, again, authorial intent. Which, what the fuck is that supposed to be poking fun at? Okay. You rip Lanque's hand off of your mouth and start yelling for Bronya. What the fuck, dude? Lanque tries to scramble away from you to make some sort of last-ditch effort to escape. But it's no use. Bronya hears you and comes running, furious. She hooks the locked door off its hinges before you can even get up to let her in. You duck flying chunks of alien architecture and scuttle off to avoid what you fear might be further alien fists. Lanque! As angry as her voice is, some of the fury goes out of her face the moment her gaze lands on Lanque's state of partial undress. She reflexively brings a hand up to shield her eyes. What in the world? Put your clothes back on right this instant, young man! Lanque freezes where he stands, apparently accepting that he's been caught. There is nowhere left to run if he doesn't intend to fling himself out a window. A sneer uncoils on his face. I know, I love Bronya too. I love her so much. Oh, please, save the Purity Act. Like this is anything you haven't already seen a dozen times before. Bronya's face goes bright jade. What? What in the world are you implying? I would never! Forget Lynura. You've always been the craziest bitch in the whole cloister. You know you aren't actually our Lucis, right? Bronya marches right up to Lanque and slaps him hard across the face. Yes, Bronya! Yes! Ugh! He's being a little shit. That's what he's being. Ugh. Lanque makes an undignified noise as he recoils from the blow. It looks like that really hurt. His face is stinging bright under the handprint. He forces out a strained laugh. Oh, true, odd. He basically just pulls a "you're not my real mom." Wow. My word, Bronya. If you wanted to join us, all you had to do was ask. Damn. You wish you had some popcorn right around now. Damn it, now I want popcorn. You just kind of sit back and take it all in. Lanque's invective has its apparent desired effect. Bronya is all but steaming at this point, hands balled into fists at her sides. You kind of want to say hi to your friend, but she's a little preoccupied, it seems. I am not going to rise to your petty baiting. You know you're in the wrong here. 1. We've spoken time and time again about recklessly sneaking out to these parties, and now you're dragging Lynura into your mess. 2. Lynura has told me all about the things you've been saying and doing to her, and it's completely unacceptable, Lanque. 3. You've had more than enough lectures about the way you treat your Flesh Quadrant partners, and it absolutely needs to stop. 4. You are coming back with me to the cloisters, right now. When we're home, we're going to have one last serious talk about this, and if there aren't changes, there are going to be consequences. You're eating popcorn right now. Oh, I'm jealous, Blake. I'm definitely gonna get some fucking microwave popcorn after this. I love Bronya so much. I have always loved Bronya from her introduction, but in this moment, especially, I love and appreciate Bronya so fucking much. Eventually, Bronya's overbearing hollering seems to finally break Lanque down. He sighs, shoulders slumped, and rolls his eyes. Fine, fine. Bronya crosses her arms indignantly as she waits for Lanque to finish fixing his clothes. Lanque buttons his shirt, puts back on his jacket and his tie, and then he has to go to retrieve his palm husk, which he seems to have discreetly slid over to where you're standing. He casually saunters away, and instead of picking up his own device, snatches yours out of your hand. Saunters his way over. Hey, I've gotta go, but let me give you my chitter information. Maybe we can pick up where we left off later, sweetheart. Bronya stomps over to grab Lanque by the ear and drag him away, but not before he's finished putting his chitter contact into your palm husk. He shoves it back into your hand, mouths you a "see you later," and then is fully hauled out of the room. Ugh, hypocrite. You need to shut your mouth! And then they're gone. You just remembered Lanque from the Save for Work version and started laughing? Friendship accomplished, you guess? Chitter mutuals. And there is MSPA reader in all their fucking ridiculously outfitted glory. That's how real life works too. Okay. And, stop doing that! Stop it! Okay. Anyway. So that is Lanque. Finished at exactly 1, right on time. Lanque's route was way longer than usual. But yeah, anyway. Basically, yeah, Lanque course was basically entirely about Lanque as trans representation. And what exactly the authorial intent was with all of that jabbing. I know that, yeah, so basically, I'm not gonna say anyone's opinion is wrong, because, I mean, no one really knows what the fuck the V was trying to get at. Yeah, so, because I've read, you know, trans men speaking about their own experiences in relation to this from both sides, and people who fucking hate it, and from people who are like, yeah, this is a good, good critique of the stereotypes that are forced on trans men. Because those two representations are common stereotypes. The uwu soft boy, that we see more commonly forced on trans boys in fandom spaces, and the sexually promiscuous predator, which we see forced on trans men in transphobic spaces. Yeah, basically my opinion is, I can't even begin to try and guess what the fuck the authorial intent actually was, because it could go so many different ways, both in a positive kind of direction, a positive commentary, or towards an incredibly hostile direction, and it's really hard to tell what the fuck they're actually trying to say. So, yeah, I'm not gonna judge anyone for piecing the fuck out because of this, or getting real mad about it. I will judge you really fucking hard if you're one of the fucking pieces of shit who harassed members of the dev team over this. Because people have actually been harassing Hiveswap Friendsim team members, and I'm not down with that. Absolutely not. But yeah, that's my take. I don't know. Ugh. I mean, the thing is that like Homestuck and Hiveswap both, like, they both address a lot of really heavy topics and a lot of controversial topics. Some things they absolutely handle with grace. That whole conversation about where Dave talks about toxic masculinity, or the way that they show his feelings regarding Bro, and, you know, just that whole dynamic of between guardian and child in an abusive situation. You know, those topics were handled really well. This was definitely a real big slip. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the vein of like Kinkery-ish, where it's like you could tell what they were kind of trying to do, but it was still really muddled whether who they were actually trying to get at with those jabs. I feel like this situation was a little worse than the Kinkery thing in terms of points of reference. But yeah. Oh, the other thing that a lot of people were very upset about, and I don't know, kind of rightfully so, is that there is absolutely no mention or hint at him being trans. So, you know, people are kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the people who are like I saw this one fucking post on Tumblr that was like, he's not wearing a binder, he doesn't have top surgery scars, he doesn't talk about HRT, he doesn't have any dysphoria during the sex scene, and I'm like, what? Why are any of those things prerequisites for transness for you? First of all, you can be a trans guy and not have any of those things. First of all. Second of all, yeah, they didn't mention it here, but this was just a snapshot. Like, I don't think, like, I think what they, at the very least, I think I can glean that they didn't want that to be 100% the focus of his route. They didn't want, like, you know, yeah, exactly, Blake. Like, he's trans, but that doesn't, like, they don't want that to just be his character point blank and have that be all that he's about, because this is supposed to be our introduction to them as characters, as full characters, and that's only one piece of who he is. We still have all the rest of Hiveswap for that to be dropped in as a canon thing. I mean, I on one, like, on one hand, I can kind of understand the perspective of their anger, because if you did not have the prior knowledge of the tweets from the dev team, you wouldn't get that from it at all, and you would have no clue. Like, there's not even, like, an offhand comment or anything that's somehow related to it, but I guess it's just transness in trolls is, like, a whole other subject that a lot of people are like, how the fuck would that even work? Because, you know, troll culture around gender is very different from human culture around gender. Shit, what the fuck was that source? It was someone from, it was, I believe, Aisha Farah in the latest episode of the Perfectly Generic podcast, which don't listen to yet, actually, because it has spoilers for the epilogue. So I will link to that after tomorrow's stream. But for right now, I'll just reference it in that she talks about how, with regards to this route, how differently gender is seen on Alternia compared to with humans, and kind of discussed how gender for trolls is not as kind of an all-consuming piece of identity as it is for humans. Like, we put gender into a fuckload of stuff. And it affects, like, it hugely affects our lives, right? But it's different in troll society, so it wouldn't really be that kind of a massive thing. But yeah, I mean, they have to put it in the canon somewhere along the way. If, and only if, okay, we get to the end of Hiveswap, like end of Hiveswap Act 4, and there isn't even, like, a single offhand comment or something, then maybe it'll start feeling like a little bit of a Dumbledore. But for now, we still have 3 more games to get through. He hasn't even appeared in canon yet. We still have 3 whole games for them to bring this up in canon. And, like, I'm a benefit of the doubt person, so I'm gonna say, let's give them the chance to actually do that instead of just yelling at them for not doing it now. Yeah. So, stream is lagging. It's all good. I know. Stream quality has been, like, pretty crap today. But, anyway, that's been, me rambling for a full fucking 10 minutes about Lanque Course. Go off. Thank you. Yeah, it's just, it's a lot. Yeah. Oh, there's also people saying that he was a rapist, even though he got MSPA readers' consent for all of the physical stuff. So, like, he's not a rapist. I mean, he was definitely being manipulative and applying, manipulative, like, kind of tactics to their situation with, like, lying about it being his first time and all that, but he did not, it was not rape. Let Lanque be a flawed character challenge. Yeah, it's a complicated situation, and I'm not gonna get mad at anyone for being mad about it. Basically. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, that helped me actually I wasn't even 100% sure what the fuck I was gonna say about this route, but, like, replaying it and, like, babbling a little now has really helped me sort out, because I've been really nervous about getting into actual conversations about it, because, I mean, it's a thing that, it's, you know, it's a subject that's riling up a lot of folks, and with good reason. There's a lot to talk about. And that is why, I mean, the fact that it was long, and the fact that I knew I wanted to be able to have this kind of discussion about the direction of the route, that's why I did this on his own individual night. So, tomorrow evening, we will be finishing Hiveswap Friendsim for good with the wonderful Soleil Twins and the epilogue. So, I need to go to bed. Actually, no, I'm hungry. I'm gonna have popcorn, and I guess I'll stay up a little later then, because you shouldn't go to bed with a full stomach. But I should, should probably go to bed. I have to get up early for a medical appointment tomorrow. I have an appointment with my lupus specialist. Yeah, oh my god, I have to get up so much earlier than I've been getting up. I'm gonna be so fucking tired. Okay, yes. Final tomorrow. Finale, indeed. Oh, you're saying you have finals tomorrow and on Thursday. Oh, goodness. Good luck with your finals, Odd. Good luck, good luck, good luck. And yeah, fingers crossed you can, yeah, take a little break to chill with us for the Soleil Twins and the grand finale epilogue tomorrow. Same time, same place. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. Thanks for being amiable about discussions of discourse and controversial subjects. Yeah, because this has completely blown the fuck up in some places. Like, people have been getting super aggressive about it, and I was a little nervous that was going to happen. But, only because I was just nervous that streaming Lanque would attract angry folks. Y'all are chill. Y'all have always been pretty chill. We have really good discussions here. Thank you just for, like, being good people. Like, we have some, like, genuinely really great discussions about a lot of kind of more touchy subjects over the course of the Homestuck stream and all the Friendsims and all that jazz. So, yeah. thank y'all for just being cool people. Hopefully we can have some more of those really cool discussions tomorrow evening when we are streaming again. Okay, I need to stop talking myself in circles because I do this at the end of practically every fucking stream. I talk myself in circles. I repeat the same thing like 20 fucking times. Okay. Glad that y'all are enjoying our discussions too. I'm gonna stop stream for tonight because I have to stop myself somewhere or I will just keep talking in circles. Okay. Thanks so much for hanging out. Fingers crossed I will be seeing you all tomorrow evening for the grand finale of the Hiveswap Friendsims. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to, and good night. Good evening, Sneak Cat, Front Burrito, Aleph. I forgot to set the alarm today, but it has indeed been 10 minutes. So, it is time to get started. Okie dokie. So, while I'm getting the game set up, there is one thing that I forgot to talk about with regards to Lanque's route yesterday that I just wanted to toss in here at the beginning. And that is just talking about the discussions of which Lanque is kind of like quote-unquote the real Lanque. And generally... Oh, whoops, my earbuds are not plugged in. Generally, these theories kind of relate to his being an emotional vampire, so to speak. And essentially, the changes can be explained by this in that he just, as a person, reads the room and changes himself to fit the mood, like, a lot. There is another theory that I saw on Twitter that I loved and thought was fucking hilarious. Which is not necessarily related to that, but I guess could kind of be related, which is that the SFW end is essentially a pale orgy, which kind of true. But anyways, Lanque was yesterday. Today we are doing the Soleil Twins Barsman Baisley as well as the epilogue. So, let's get started right on time for once. No more babbling today. We'll skip over the intro and hop right to it. Barsum and Baisley. Oh, I love these cheeky little fuckers so much. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting my earbuds all untangled. Okay. You've gotten pretty good at the old friend-making game by now, but even an old hand at palling around like you, a real platonic Lothario, has bad nights sometimes. Tonight was one of those nights. It's getting close to morning, and not a new friend in sight. You've met new people, sure, but none of your conversations had panned out the way you wanted them to. Every interaction had come to a close with your friend count no higher than when you'd started, no matter how many compliments, offers to help, and other tried-and-true friending strategies you'd whipped out. You won't stand for it. You're determined to finish out the night with at least one more new buddy's name in your little black friendship book. But with the sun's about to rise, you have to admit you're cutting it a little close. As each minute ticks by, the sky gets a little lighter, and the possibility of dying an agonizing, fiery death gets higher. Maybe it'd be best for you to just pack it in and find somewhere to spend the day. You pick up your trusty palm husk and call up one of the many friends you already have to ask if you can crash. Hell, maybe Skyla will be up for sharing a Recuperacoon again. The soothing ooze has kind of grown on you, and sleeping next to Skyla always makes you feel so comfy and safe. Turns out Skyla is more than down with you coming over. Time to make tracks. You turn tail and hurry in the direction of Skyla's digs, but it's not long until you run into a distraction. That distraction is in the hulking... No, I jumped a line down for that word. Okay, before I keep going, I just need to have a little sip of water. Alright. Where was I? That distraction is in the form of a house. It's a dark, crooked thing hulking close to the ground. Slatted wood walls and sloping roofs. Vines cling to it like dust and cobwebs clinging to forgotten things in the attic. Something about it feels off. It possesses a certain energy that sends shivers up your spine, making your hair stand on end. An instinct deep in your gut is telling you to give it a wide berth. On the other hand, its shelter. The skyless place is a way off yet, while the house is right here in front of you. It could be worth seeing if whoever lives here is willing to put up with you for the day. My favorite color, friend burrito, is purple. Which is funny, because that is the cast we are looking at today. Okay. So, approach the house or no fucking way. So, first choice, let's see if we can knock a short end out of the park. No fucking way. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Didn't you just establish that this place gives you the heebiest of jeebies? Plus, there's always the chance that the inhabitant will cull instead of help you. You're sticking with your original plan, thank you very much. Firmly ignoring the house, you continue on your way. You make good progress for a while. Your map's app says you're heading in the right direction, except... Oh, what the fuck? Why are you here again? Did you take a wrong... Why are you here again? Did you take a wrong turn somewhere? You too? Yeah, I think it's a really nice color. I am also partial to burgundies and rich reds. Whatever. You're not going to dwell on it. Time is running out, and you need to get away from this stupid house pronto. You'll make sure to do it right. This time, you'll go... And for this choice... How about you choose? Chat's choice. Left or right? Anybody just toss something out there. Get some audience participation up in here. Also good timing because I need more water. Okay, left it is. Left. Okay, you split, breaking into a jog. Oh, whoops, we have contradicting answers. Well, I gotta keep skedaddling along here. The scenery flicks past you as you pick up the pace, urgency spurring you on. It's getting even lighter. Won't be long now. What? You check your palm husk again. You're right back where you started, even though just a moment ago the map's GPS put you a decent distance away. This is ridiculous. There's obviously something weird going on, but the suns are creeping over the horizon. Time's up. There's nothing else for it. You make your way towards the house. So, whether you choose left or right, you get the same dialogue. And if you choose to approach the house from the beginning and skip over that chunk of dialogue, this is about where it places you in the dialogue. So you cannot escape. You are stuck in this... Shit, what's the fucking term? Is it time paradox? No. Time loop? One of those. But you're stuck coming back and back and back to this place. There is no getting away. There's nothing else for it. You make your way towards the house. Even though everything inside you is screaming at you to stay away. Even though with every step you take, your chest tightens and your hands tremble. By the time you reach the door, you're shaking like a leaf. Adrenaline zings through you. You could choke on it. You want to run, but you force yourself to keep moving forward. It's a slow motion race between you and the sunrise. At this rate, the suns will make it all the way into the sky before you can even knock. You drag yourself the rest of the way, stumbling onto the front step. The door knocker is an intricate yet grotesque thing, an undulating tongue lolling out of a set of sharp teeth, all in cast iron. You grab the lumpy end of the tongue and bang it against the door. Nothing. Fuck. Maybe you'll get lucky and the door will be open? Out of options, you reach out and turn the doorknob. You can feel the first licks of sunlight against the back of your neck. Is it just you, or is your skin starting to blister? But today's your lucky day. The door opens. You should feel overjoyed at your life being spared. Instead, your focus is fully on how the roiling in your belly has bloomed into... Wow, that sentence. Okay. Starting from the beginning. Instead, your focus is fully on how the roiling in your belly has bloomed fully into nausea. In the distance, inexplicably, is the peal of sirens, an insistent whining noise that only continues to get louder. You shouldn't have come here, but it's not like you had another choice. You might as well see what awaits you inside, but as soon as you cross the threshold, the world lurches and you pass out. You come to in a different room than the foyer, head ringing like someone just whacked it. When you move to sit up, there's the sound of skittering all around you, like hundreds of tiny insects are scurrying away to safety. Had they been roving the floor while you were knocked out? Gross. You prop yourself back on your hands and take a look around. Your impromptu nap has done nothing to assuage the deep sense of wrongness you have about this place. But hey, maybe you've managed to sleep through the day. Maybe the sun has set again so you can get the hell out of here. This sense of optimism is misplaced, probably, but it's not as if you can check. There are no windows. You cast your eyes around the room. Underneath the floral, peeling wallpaper, the walls are riddled with damp and mold. And on the other side of the room, an open door. Thank fuck. You aren't locked in then. You can go look for somewhere else in this place that might have got a damn window. You step into a long, winding corridor. So let's just take a look at this corridor for a minute here. Just to soak it in, because it's got some pretty interesting art. None of them seem to be recognizable characters, except the portrait of that's like the furthest back on the right-hand wall. I believe that's Violent J? Or maybe it's Shaggy 2 Dope. I have not memorized which one wears which makeup, but I'm pretty sure that the person on the left, at least, is wearing official ICP makeup. It's one of the two. This house is gross. Yeah, it is. It's not looking great in here. This shit is falling the fuck apart. Very big haunted house vibes. You step into a long, winding corridor. It's so cramped you feel almost as though the walls are closing in. While it had been warm enough outside, in here a deep chill settles over you, sinking deep into your bones. You're half convinced you'll never be warm again. Emanating from somewhere you can't see is music, tinny and rhythmic. It's soon interrupted by a crackling noise, like someone trying to tune into the correct station on a radio. Then one of the picture frames lights up. Looks like it was actually some sort of TV screen. And their music has started. I love their music. It is so perfectly fitting for this setting. Welcome. Welcome! We're glad that you're awake and that you came to visit us. We've been really, 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 really bored in this stinky old house. It really sucked. We could have just died from how boring it was. Two voices, one monotonous and so quiet you can barely hear it, the other shrill, dramatic, like its owner never learned the meaning of the words indoor voice. Catching what the quieter person is saying isn't made any easier by the high-pitched giggling that starts up in the background whenever they start speaking. One interesting thing to note is that this is a pretty direct analog with Gamzee's typing quirks when he does the sober typing quirks with the uppercase and the lowercase, as well as when they speak together, it's his up and down. So hurry up and find us. We want to play a game. Gee, why did those words give you such a profound sense of déjà vu? The line goes dead. At the same time, a door pops open at the other end of the corridor. You're meant to go through it, you guess. You'd rather go somewhere else, anywhere else, other than through that door. But there's nowhere else to go. Or is there? Okay, so there is actually another choice later in this route. So once again, I'm going to quickly grab the reins for the short ending on this one. Search for another exit. No, there has to be something else here. Ignoring the voice's instructions, you examine the walls of the corridor instead. Soon enough, you notice something funny about one of the paintings. Its frame seems much thicker than the others, which strikes you as somehow suspicious. Feeling along its bottom edge reveals a button. You push it. There's a groaning sound, and part of the wall folds itself away, revealing a tunnel of some sort. Ha! You knew it! You're so focused on trying to make your escape that you rush through the opening without looking. If you had been more careful, you might have noticed one very important thing. Past this doorway, there is no floor. Your feet meet thin air, sending you pitching downwards. Drat, you think, as you plunge towards the pit of knives beneath you. You'd reached a follower milestone on Chitter the other day, too, and you hadn't gotten around to bequeathing it to any of your friends in case something like this happened. Your final, regretful thoughts are of your account, dusty and abandoned, with no one there to continue to update it after you're gone. Game over. Look at those knives. Okay, so can't avoid it. Just gotta get on board with the twins. Okay, back we are. Approach the door. Your weariness only intensifies once you set off down the hall because the walls start fucking bleeding. You've seen enough troll blood at this point to be able to recognize it. Which, just getting all of the UI off there so you can appreciate this masterpiece. Multicolored streams ooze over the wallpaper and faded portraits lining the wall, collecting and congealing in sticky, viscous puddles on the floor. The narrow hallway becomes steeped in the stench of copper. You walk faster, but the streams of blood follow you, sluicing down from the ceiling as quickly as you can walk. You reach the door. Eager to get away from the grisly sight, you throw it open, but... oh god, you hadn't considered what might be waiting for you behind it. What if these two shady characters plan to torture you? Tie you up and steal your palm husk, texting embarrassing messages to your friends while you can only look on in horror, helpless and unable to intervene. Anything but that. Let's take a look at this. So this is very circusy, but almost looks like it's supposed to be like a children's playpen with all the drawings on the walls. It's too dark to see anything. All you can do is fumble and feel around with your hands. Getting out of the room again is a no-go. The door swung shut behind you as soon as you stepped inside. You shuffle forward on wobbly legs. The floor feels unstable somehow, like it's going to open up and swallow you at any moment. Would it be a good idea to call out to see if anyone's here? You manage a feeble hello. Your voice echoes. Soft laughter reverberates back in response. You catch a glimpse of something from the corner of your eye. A flash of purple. No, why are there no violet bloods? I guess they're just not gonna be in that neighborhood in Act 2, but they have said that there will be violet bloods in later acts, so we just gotta be patient with it. There's the sensation of eyes on the back of your neck, watching you, but you can't discern where the other presence in the room is. If there even is one. You kind of hate this. Of all the shitty welcomes you've received, this one takes the cake. You have to get out of here. You try to gather your panicked thoughts together to formulate a plan, but before you can do anything, a series of ropes appear seemingly from nowhere, coiling tight around you and holding you down. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you! A light comes on. It's not the warm, burning rays of sunlight. This room is windowless too, but a spotlight, bright and harsh. It lights up a broad swath of the room, bleaching it white and sending long shadows stretching away from it. Ta-da! Look at them! Ah! You can see your captors more clearly now. 2 purple blood kids. Aside from their expressions, they look exactly the same. A manic glint sparkles in the eye of one of them, as sharp as his razor blade grin. The other looks more hesitant, almost sad. We're Baisley! And Barzum. You're the alien, ain't ya? You look weird. Your body's real weird. We wonder what color your blood is. Or how springy and slimy your acid tubes are. They'll squirm around like slither beasts when we slice open trolls' bellies. Are yours the same? You struggle against your bonds. You have no idea what acid tubes are, but you'd much rather they stay inside your body where they belong, thanks. You thought you'd move past the days where you had to serve as a torture muppet. All you needed was a few hours shelter from the sun, and if it's safe to go outside again, you'd really like to leave. This was the wrong thing to say, apparently. The twins leer at you disapprovingly. Or, well, one of them looks so disappointed he might burst into tears. The other just looks pissed. No way! We told you. We've been so bored. Do you know what it's like to be all alone with no one else to play with? For wipes? We might have each other. We're never truly alone. That's what makes being us so great. But it's a little difficult to play pranks on someone who always knows what you're thinking and feeling. Wait, you thought Barzum was the quiet one and Baisley was the loud one, but it looks like you were mistaken? Or did they switch? If you weren't faced with the prospect of having your innards yanked out and played with by bloodthirsty children, you might be more puzzled by their statement. As it stands, you have more pressing problems on your mind right now, so their words more or less fly over your head. You squirm harder, even though it doesn't do any good. In fact, it just seems to make the twins madder. Sadder? You settle on smatter. Stop trying to get away! It's always like this. Nobody ever wants to play with us. We hate it. Now hold still. You look at them beseechingly, trying to appear as small and helpless as possible. Maybe it's a little pathetic giving puppy dog eyes to literal children, but you lost track of your own dignity a long time ago. They're not really gonna do this, right? A noise starts up. It sounds suspiciously like a chainsaw. And is it just you, or is there the scent of raw meat in the air? Where the hell is it coming from? You continue straining in your bonds, stomach clenching in fear, bile rising at the back of your throat. They're not actually going to hurt you, right? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh. You wake up, gasping. But you aren't strapped down anymore. You're in the same room that you were in at the beginning. What happened? The room hasn't changed since you've been gone. There's still only one way out. You really, really don't want to step through the door again, but what else can you do? You step through the door. There's that radio crackling again. Welcome. Welcome! We're glad that you're awake. Their little greeting goes on just like it had before. A pre-recorded message, maybe? Your heart pounds as you step through the second door. You're hoping you'll be able to sidestep their ropes this time, but instead of getting tied up, you trip forward into a vat of what feels like glue. You were lucky enough to have turned your face away from the stickiness, so your nose is still above the surface, and you can breathe. For now, anyway. But you can't move. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you! They're acting like it was the first time all over again. What is this fuckery? Are they messing with you? You met already, mere minutes ago. No, we would have remembered. Meeting a weirdo like you! Stop trying to trick us. Then everything goes black for a third time. And here you are again. Welcome. Welcome? Are you for real? This time you get shoved into a box. You're pretty sure you pass out while you're in the middle of getting buried alive. You come to in the room you're beginning to think of as yours, yet again. You pass out 5 times, 10. You begin to lose count. You never pass out at the same point during the twins' shenanigans, but it inevitably happens, and you always end up right back where you started. The worst part is that while your conversation with the twins stays the same, the way they trap you changes. You get trussed upside down from the ceiling, dunked in a water tank, scrambling to get out while your lungs begin to burst from lack of air. Every time you black out before you can die, but you've almost died dozens of times by now, and it's really beginning to stress you out. You have to be stuck in some sort of time loop. You see this sort of thing in the movies all the time, and everyone knows that movies are the best points of reference for one's actual life. The hero wakes up to the strains of an old pop song playing on the radio and reminisces over their childhood journals, which sends them back in time where they have to stop a crime before it happens. Or maybe you were thinking of a different movie. Anyway, your point is that you have to find a way out of the loop. Hopefully, you won't have to do anything too wild, like stab your past self and then throw your own bloodied corpse out the window. That would really, really blow. That's a reference to something, but I don't know what it's a reference to. Unfortunately, you can't seem to find any clues indicating what you should do next. You always pass out. The twins are always excited to play with / torture you. They don't seem to be aware that any of this is happening, from what you can tell. After round 20-something or other, you've had it. Enough is enough. You can't take any more giggling, any more of that hard, damp floor, any more excruciating games. You might not be any closer to figuring out what to do, but you have to try something. And now is where I may pass the choice over to chat. Fuck this, or remember who you are. What's your choice, chat? I'm going to take a second to have a little bit of water, a little bit of a refresher, while y'all decide which of our 2 lovely choices you would like to go with first. Okay, we have a vote for fuck this. Because this is one of the larger kind of choices rather than just a left or right, if there was any other feedback. If anyone else has a differing opinion, I'll roll a dice to see which one we go with. Okay, I hate doing countdowns because stream lag sometimes is just garbage, but I'm gonna say we got 10 seconds for any other opinions on which way we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just because I know that from my end, stream is still getting caught up. There, okay. So we do have two differing opinions in the chat. Okay. It is D&D dice time. Ooh. Okay, well, the dice on top is my D12, so I'll just go with that. Odd numbers are fuck this. Even numbers are remember. Oop, that hit the floor. Okay. Okay, that is an odd number. That is 3. So we are gonna go with fuck this first. Fuck this. There's one thing you've been doing wrong. Appealing to the twins to let you go. All they seem to care about is torturing you. Of course, simply asking them for your freedom isn't going to work. You'll do things differently this time. If you want to escape, you'll have to go on the offensive. You wake up again. Disembodied voices, bleeding walls, game, check, check, check. You head towards the twins' room. Stand back, you yell before they can launch into their tirade. You're a weird, scary alien with weird, scary alien superpowers and you're not afraid to use them. You switch on your phone's torch app, waving it around. You even attempt an intimidating roar for added effect. The only superpowers you're aware of is your irresistible charm and a set of truly banging gams, but they don't need to know that. Your gambit works. They don't cower in fear exactly, but they're bamboozled enough for you to look frantically around the room as much as you can with your paltry light source. There! An air vent with a loose grill. With a desperate yell, you launch yourself up towards it and crawl inside. The twins, finally aware that this is all just an elaborate ruse, start shouting after you. The twins' indignant voices start to fade as you wriggle deeper into the dusty guts of the house. You can't have very long. It's only a matter of time until the diminutive terrors climb into the vents after you. Or maybe they'll run ahead and then cut you off via one of the other rooms that the vents connect to. They must know the layout of this house better than you do. Much to your surprise, though, you re-emerge at one of the outside walls with no trouble. It's dusk, not day, for which you mutter a quick thank you to your merciful overlords. From here, it's a simple matter of picking your way down the vines until you get to the bottom. Once your feet touch the ground, you start running. When you cast one last wild glance back over your shoulder, you catch sight of them, your captors, who you've successfully hoodwinked. They're standing in the grand foyer doorway screaming. You have no idea why they aren't coming after you, but you don't question it, pumping your legs until they're burning. It's a good thing you spent all that time jogging with Stelsa. You've gotten really good at running away from your problems. You stop running once you can't see the house anymore. You're a little surprised that getting away turned out to be that simple, but you know better than to look a gift-tooth beast in the squawk gaper. Relief floods through you in waves. You did it! You got away! You slow down to a leisurely walking pace, pulling out your phone as you go. You have a slew of texts from Skyla, who's been wondering what happened to you after you never turned up. Her invitation to come over and hang out still stands, though. Oh boy, you can't wait to finally make your way over there and chill with her. You'd never play favorites among your pals, but you have to admit, you hold a particular fondness for Skyla. Her whole thing, where she always makes sure not to cause you any bodily harm, that definitely has its charms. You keep walking, but after a while your stomach starts to sink. It's been half an hour and your surroundings don't look any different. You should be closer to Skyla's neck of the woods by now. It's not until you catch sight of a weathered wall all wound with ivy that you realize what's going on. It's the house again. You're still stuck. You're not going to be able to leave its grounds no matter how much you walk. You might have escaped the house, but whatever curse or time-space witchcraft this isn't confined to within those walls. You're in a pocket dimension of some sort. That was the term I was looking for earlier. And you don't know how to break out. So now you can either return to the twins, since they're the only company you have out here, or make these bushes your new best friends. You look dolefully out at the miles of scraggy underbrush before you. You would probably best get used to gazing at nothing but this, since it's all you're going to be seeing for a long, long time. Forever lost. Dun, dun, dun. And that is our final bad end. Okay. Let's hop back in one more time and grab that good end. Remember who you are. There's one thing you've been doing wrong. Making this all about escape. You've been so preoccupied with not getting sliced to pieces with knives and everything that you've lost track of what's truly important. The word that echoes in your heart, the word that echoes in your heart when you rise at dusk and pulses through your bloodstream during the rest of your waking hours until it's time to go to sleep. The word that's kicked off every single narrative you've started thus far. Friendship. Yeah, that does have to really suck. That's a fucking lonely existence. I mean, eventually you've got to come back in the whorehouse at some point and face the twins, right? You'll do things differently this time. You're going to bring yourself to truly care about these creepy clown children, god damn it, even if it's the last thing you do. And with the way things are going, it very well could be. Their MO is oddly benign this time. A tickling machine. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult for you to talk to them through all the laughter. What are those noises they're making? I think they're trying to tell us something. Miraculously, the tickling stops. You wheeze, trying to catch your breath, hoping to God you haven't peed. You've managed not to wet yourself out of fear until now. It'd be just the worst to have broken your streak due to laughing too hard. What is it about clowns and you divesting your body of waste? After assuring yourself that your underwear is blessedly dry, you ask, if they kill you, won't they just be alone again? How is that beneficial for anyone? They'll be bored and you'll be, dead, which you'd rather not be. Their creeping saccharine smiles transform into matching expressions of confusion. Barzum puts a finger to her chin, cocking her head to one side as if deep in thought, almost like a puppy. Under any other circumstances, you might even consider it cute. What are you talking about? We don't want to kill you. Maybe just cut you a little. You'll heal right back up again. Don't be such a wiggler. Some of the things they've tried to inflict on you would have definitely taken more than your regular human healing functions to recover from. But wait, you think back to Ramel taking a whole-ass club in her side and acting like it was no big. She'd said something about higher blood colors being able to take more of a beating, too. Are the twins assuming that that's the case for everyone? God, this is what happens when all the adults in a society go off-planet and leave a bunch of zoo animals to bring up their kids. Or, well, trolls also solve most of their problems by killing each other. You can't discount that either, I suppose. You take a closer look at the twins. There isn't any malice in either of their faces. The only emotion you can discern is idle curiosity. You decide to take that as encouragement. You explain that no, you won't heal up from being sliced open, or from an on-fire scuttle buggy being flung at your head, because you are human, and humans heal differently from trolls. Well, differently from high-blood trolls at least. You even use your best babysitter voice for good measure. You feel like you're giving a stern talking to about the importance of taking care of one's toys so that they don't break. Instead, you propose, why don't you be friends? You can all play together instead of being the subject of their torment. They'll be able to play with you for longer that way too. They give you a strange look. Friends? What's that? Do people not agree to be their playmates very often? No. Usually everyone runs in the other direction, so we have to catch them. Or trick them. That explains a lot. You think you're beginning to understand. If they let you down, you can try and show them what you have in mind. They do. They actually free you. They turn all the lights on in the room too, so you can finally see everything in it. Alright. And now we finally have a full, bright view of the whole room. It's bigger than you expected and set up like a circus tent. A wire is suspended along the ceiling. A person-sized target board rotates at dizzying speeds against the back wall. Juggling clubs, knives, scarves, and other props are piled across the floor. You recognize a few of the mechanisms they had inflicted on you before. It's pure chaos. So, what else do they do with all this stuff? They're still staring at you as if they aren't quite sure how to deal with you engaging them with... They're still staring at you as if they aren't quite sure how to deal with you engaging with them voluntarily. You're feeling pretty tentative yourself. This whole interaction seems incredibly precarious. You're afraid that if you make a misstep, you'll end up back in the tickling rack again. This isn't ours. We just found it when we got here. But it does look a lot like what's in our hive. We can do shows. And stunts. All kinds of cool stuff. Fuck, even when they aren't threatening you, the way they talk in chorus like that freaks you out a little. In perfect unison, like they're one voice instead of two. You shake off your fears and suggest that they show you a little something. They seem to like that idea. Excitedly, they scurry over to the target board. One twin stands against it, while the other picks up a handful of throwing knives. You're anxious. You don't exactly want them to rough up each other instead of you, but Barzum just throws the knives in a graceful arc. They surround Baisley perfectly, barely missing him. You gasp, your mouth a perfect O. The twins seem pleased with themselves, laughing together like they're sharing a secret. If you think that's impressive, watch this! They execute a sick flip on a pair of trapezes above a bed of swords, make a daring escape from one of the contraptions they trapped you in. They move similarly to how they speak, perfectly in tandem with each other. With the variety of obsessions you've seen among your friends, it figures that it was only a matter of time until you met someone who made a hobby out of risking their lives. It's not too out there compared to cage fighting, you suppose, or collecting saucy East Alternian figures. You could have just escaped from the trap we put you in earlier, you know? Why didn't you? You laugh nervously. You haven't exactly had much practice, and maybe it would have been easier if you had someone else to help. You look at the two of them pointedly. You didn't even realize siblings were a thing among trolls, let alone twins. Sibling? What's that? You know, someone you, share a lucis with? Someone you hatched with in the same clutch? Are you phrasing that right? We do share a lucis. We share everything! We didn't just hatch from the same clutch. We hatched from the same egg. We were going to be a single troll, but we split in two. Just our bodies, though. Our minds are still one. One person, two bodies. We're one and the same. So that... that's fucking cool. So yeah, they are essentially one mind controlling these two bodies in perfect synchronization with the same lucis, and that's how their situation works. That was one of the things that I was really looking forward to about this route. Finally finding out how the heck does that twin thing work? Because that's not really a usual thing for trolls. I'm just gonna have a little bit of water here. Alright. Okay, maybe siblings aren't a thing on Alternia after all. Being literally the same person is quite a bit different from the human concept of twins or siblings. Somehow this leads them to telling you all about the number of exploits they had with some of the other kids in their neighborhood. One story led to another, and soon you're recounting some of your own adventures too. Hive mind. Yeah, it's a similar concept, but I've avoided using the term hive mind specifically because that kind of implies a much, much larger network and impact than just the two of them. But that is, yeah, that's pretty much conceptually like the rough strokes of what they're getting at. They particularly love your attempt at giving an impression of Nikki, clapping and crowing as you get into a dramatic power stance and flex your flimsy muscles. You can't help but feel a little proud of yourself. You feel like the guy on Jurassic Park who walked into the Velociraptor den, "Oh, be chill, my dudes," and they actually listened to him. Besides, there's something great about making kids laugh, even kids who were trying to murder you less than an hour ago. The twins are in the middle of talking about a prank they played that they found hilarious, and that you've been trying hard not to grimace in horror at, when you feel it. A certain change in the air. Didn't they mention they had been stuck here? Did we? Yes, we have. When we try to go out the door, some sort of force pushes us back. You're the first other person we've seen since we got here. You have a hunch that might have changed. Why don't you all try again? They look at you skeptically. If you want. It's not going to be any different, though. You just tell them to trust you. You look at the front door. The twins are crowding you from either side, clinging onto your arms and edging so close it's like they're trying to burrow into you. Ready? They nod. You push against the door. It opens and you breathe in the cool evening air. Not so fast. We've gotten this far before. But we won't be able to go any farther. You'll see. You take one step, then another. As you look beyond the grounds of the house, you see things you hadn't when you first got here. Mountains in the distance, other houses. Before, all you could see was shrubbery. You pick up the pace. The house falls away behind you, disappearing into the fog. Whoa! You did it. You actually did it! We can finally leave. They swoop in to grab you, hugging you hard. The curving horn of their masks almost stabs you in the cheek. These things are a bit of a hazard when their wearers only come up to about where your chest is. They keep talking before you can get a word in, pulling you forwards and shuffling you along between them. It looks like you were right. It wasn't just enough to save yourself. You had to save them, too. You don't know how, but the key to making this little patch of the universe obey the rules of reality once more was friendship all along. You should have seen your face. You were shit your gamtubes terrified. You heave a sigh as their incessant giggling surrounds you like so many playful ghosts. Yes, 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 you say. Very clever. They were the ones behind all this nonsense, weren't they? You started guessing somewhere towards the end. You wiggle your hands vaguely. All the time stuff. They sure scared you, all right. No. That wasn't us. We were talking about the bloody walls and creepy sounds. None of that was real. That was all us. That was all chuckle voodoos. More chuckle voodoo exposition. Yes, please and thanks. I was so excited to finally get mention of the chuckle voodoos in Friendsim, and because right now the only reference point that we have is Gamzee. So now we have another reference point as to how that would work outside of the context of Gamzee's very specific pointed goals on Homestuck. How do trolls age? I mean, yeah, they follow, I mean, aside from, like, the whole grub thing, I kind of got the impression they follow roughly the same developmental pattern as humans. But just with different target points and end results, so to speak. At the very least, psychologically, I've noticed that they do develop in that way, very, very, very similar to humans. Like, a lot of the, like, murder is okay, and, like, that kind of thing, that's a very cultural thing, you know, the Condus wants the population to think that this is just the way that they are and the way they're made, but, I mean, we see from characters in Homestuck that that's not the truth. A lot of them really struggle with being that brutal and with the kind of emotions that brings with them, and we see that a lot with the Hiveswap characters, too. But yeah, it's, I mean, I think Rough Step's the same kind of timeline in terms of, like, stages of things as humans, maybe just over different, I don't know. A lot of people have different headcanons for that, so that's a really interesting thing to explore, in other places online as well. That's just kind of the impression that I got, but I know that other people have, like, incredibly detailed biological headcanons for how trolls work. There's some stuff up on AO3, I believe. That's, like, there's a couple different ones that I've seen where it's, like, it's not even a fic, it's just a huge almanac of their headcanons for troll biology and how it works. It's really cool. How long is one sweep? One sweep is 2.3 years. Or 2.33333333, to be precise. You know, like, just, like, never-ending threes, but, like, just, you know, 2.3 years, generally speaking. Actually, I do have a link here. Do I still have it in my bookmarks? I do. Aw, shit. What? Damn it. I had a year to sweep calculator, in my bookmarks, and it does not seem to be functional anymore. I was gonna link that in chat just as a handy little thing. Yes, yeah, Israeli guy, that's the fraction, is it's 2 1/6. Or no, it would be 2 1/3, wouldn't it? Because it's 0.333333. And the, like, 33%, that'd be the precise 1/3. I think it's 2 1/3. Yeah, it's 2 1/3. Damn it, I wish this calculator would fucking work. Oh well. Oh well, R.I.P. R.I.P. calculator. Anyway, Choco Voodoo exposition. Very happy about that. Showing how they use it. So, because it's kind of, so, you know, they say it's the noises, it's, you know, the blood from the walls, kind of so the hallucinations are part of the Choco Voodoos, as well as we know from Gamzee. They don't specifically list it here, Barzim and Basie don't specifically list it here, but we know from Gamzee that the feeling of fear, you know, that very descriptive in the beginning, just that increasing shakiness, the gut churning nausea, that is the Choco Voodoos as well. We're the best at Choco Voodoos. We got you so good. They both bounce beside you excitedly. You blink down at them. You have no idea what the heck Choco Voodoos are, but you can only guess that it's some sort of illusionary thing. So they didn't have anything to do with time messing up? Folding in on itself? No. We told you. We've been trying to get out of that stupid house for wipes. Fuck, wipes. I think wipes is kind of the equivalent of, like, a couple of weeks? I'd have to look that one up. Maybe even a perigee. Did you really think that was our hive? Our place is so much cooler than that dump. You visit their actual hive? You have your reservations about that, but you can't find it within you to say no as they eagerly pull you along, one twin tugging your hand, the other looping an arm in yours. You look back at the house one last time. You have no clue whether the twins were lying, or, if they're telling the truth, what really caused what happened here. But right now, you're content enough with knowing that you'll never have to see this place ever again. And this time, I will not hide this screen because we are officially finished with the Hiveswap Friendsim. All that's left is the epilogue, which will be in the second half of stream. Before cutting to break, I'll show you what happens if you say no. So do you want to understand? If you say no, game over. That's it. You just get a very sad looking MSPA reader. Very glum in their abandoned sentry station home. So, oh, there's no music at this part, right? I don't think I need to play with settings here. Yeah, okay. Let me get... Okay, so, back in 5, yeah, I'm gonna play a little chill music, take a little break, and then we will finally reveal the epilogue twist. Hello. Okay. Back at it again. Let's get this game open. 2.16? Where the fuck did I get 2.3 then? Oh well. Okay. Epilogue. Y'all ready for this? Do you want to understand? Yes. Of course you do. Your sort of creature always does. You're worn out. Last night was, well, it sure was something. You lived, probably. You learned, definitely. You made choices. You had to. And after all this time, here you still are. So after a day of recuperation from ragers and houses of horror, you're out walking the streets of the place you may as well start calling home. You've changed out of your party gear, opting for your old hoodie standby. It fits the mood you're in. You're not really looking to meet anyone new tonight. Well, like, you wouldn't say no, probably. But you're not jonesing for it. Only a little. It's complicated. After an indeterminable amount of minutes of aimless walking, you look around at where you've ended up. You seem to have wandered into a dirt pile. Look familiar? Oh, you know this dirt pile. It's Fozzer's corpse field. How did you get here, you wonder? You're pretty sure you were just on the other side of the city, with no particular desires to come anywhere near here. It's probably fine. Just your deep, innate bro-honing skills taking over your goddamn body. Just little friendship things. You look around for your pal Fozzer, peeking down into a few of the deeper holes. You might as well say hello, since you're here and all. Holy shit, that... again? Curiosity killed the cat, but you've definitely got more than 9 lives, so you shrug and slide, not so gracefully, down into the shiny hole. Y'all recognize that little, funny little symbol? Stuck in the ground? Fozzer is nowhere to be found, but there is a window down here. It's almost completely unearthed, and doesn't take much effort to free it the rest of the way. At first you think it might be some cool new trash you could make art with, but when you look closer, you reconsider. There's a whole ass room you can see through the pane of glass laying at your feet. That's weird. Weirdness isn't typically a deterrent for you, but usually there's at least some causational coherence. Doors are in walls surround rooms. You aren't used to finding parlors in ditches. Is there a latch or something? Could you do a polite little knock? There might be friends in there. Damn, you could really go for some friends right now. Is there protocol for approaching ditch window? Allow me to stop you there. I am a timeless being of the void, but even my patience has its limits. Fun is fun, but this frivolous navel-gazing is no longer necessary. Come in from behind the shadow of that narrative text. It's so very hard to see your face. Oh, I forgot to plug in my headphones. Shit. Wait, and speaking of headphones, this song is fucking amazing. Definitely one of the best songs in the whole fucking soundtrack. Steve Cat, oh my god. I know. Wait for it. Ooh, I have to do one thing quickly. Okay, I just have to, okay. I just realized that I need to very briefly... Okay. Now. Yeah, this is... You may find this setting familiar. I am just very quickly going to switch to display capture mode for reasons that will be seen in the future. Okay. You aren't sure where you are, and it's unsurprisingly a little nerve-wracking. You look over your shoulder at the window you guess you just fucking came on through. The Alternian sky is framed by the edge of your dirt hole, and the knot in your stomach loosens a bit. Hopefully that means this is a two-way portal. And there he is. You turn to look at your surroundings, and oh, there's someone here. The guy you just heard, you assume. He doesn't look like any of the other aliens you've met. Oh, I'm not an alien. Or no more than any of us are alien to each other. In fact, nothing is alien to me. The root concept behind that term is alienation, being forced from that which is natural. Nothing is unnatural to me. I look upon all realities as equally inviting and approachable. It's you, my dear, who are out of place. I could see that even if I was not omniscient, which I am. Okay, so not an alien. With no horns or a cast sign, though, he's definitely not a troll. Whoever he is, he seems to be white. Just really white and round, and his outfit is admittedly kind of dope. Looking at him really ramps up your friend thirst. He's just got this quality about him that you've got to get with. You take a step toward him, almost without thinking about it. It's only been 2 seconds and you want him to stop. Oh, just you wait. Oh, my apologies. That compulsion has become extraneous. Let me take care of that. Make me take care of it for you. He snaps his fingers and your knees buckle. The force of the universe presses down on you like G-force. You blink, and somehow he's there immediately, arms outstretched to catch you as you fall. He steers you to a chaise lounge and you drop yourself weakly onto it. Please, have a seat. The emotional transition might be a tad uncomfortable, but I know you've handled worse. So, Israeli guy, we're chill with the fuck word on this stream. Please don't police my chat. I will take care of things if they get out of hand. So, Doc Scratch just oh my god, changed MSPA readers' whole personality. With the snap of his fingers. And that whole, okay, I gotta stop yelling. I just gotta read, because I am having trouble remembering whether or not what I'm about to say would be spoilery, or if they're just about to say it in the text. You're quite the soldier. Allow me to be the first to say that I am very pleased with your work. I knew exactly what you were going to do. Of course. And most of your work was, in fact, my work. Regardless, congratulations are in order. What is this guy talking about? Your work? You're trying to parse what he's saying, but your body is still shaking from whatever he just did to you, and it's hard to think in here. You suddenly sharply don't feel friendly towards him at all anymore, or towards anyone. The void left by that feeling is a freshly gaping horror. It's like who you thought you were in cave. The void left by that feeling is a freshly gaping horror. It's like who you thought you were caved into. It's like who you. Okay, no. Now I'm reading the sentence again. Now the cadence is working. The void left by that feeling is a freshly gaping horror. It's like who you thought you were caved into itself, a black hole of personality eating your body up from the inside. You try to pull your shit together. He seems like he means business. This is no time to lose it, no matter if your sense of self is shattering. I mean, if you're a fan of Homestuck and you stuck through the whole thing, then you'll know that the little, saying fuck is just par for the course, And yeah, we're not Israeli guys, seriously, I need you to please stop policing other people's language in chat. I will take care of it if I feel like chat is getting out of hand. And if you don't stop trying to police other people's language in chat, then I will have to soft block you for the rest of the stream, because I don't like that you're trying to control other people's language in that way. Like, it's chill. That kind of swearing is allowed in this space. You try to... Oh, did I read this already? Okay, I'll read it again. You try to pull your shit together. He seems like he means business. This is no time to lose it, no matter if your sense of self is shattering. When you truly reflect on yourself, you surely can't with any honesty claim to believe any of this was by your own making. Crash landing on a hostile alien world, surviving the impact, dragging around a half-broken body and somehow not immediately being eaten by the local fauna? Did you learn an alien language just by thinking about it very, very hard? So now he's slowly revealing the extent to which this was his doing. Right. Malik said something about that you were speaking perfect Alternian, and it was kind of weird, but you kind of just accepted it. For no good reason. That's your whole deal. Your friends all accepted your quirks. That's what friends do. You say it to convince yourself as much as to prove it to him. So many trolls, so many fascinating aliens, and all of them wanted to know you. Did you really think you managed that on your own laurels? Were they all just drawn to an indefinable something, je ne sais quoi? I have seen a couple of people who are French speakers point out that this is not the correct spelling of je ne sais quoi. Shit, what was the exact... Oh shit, wait a second, I forgot I put this in window mode. That's fine. Yeah, it means something that's just like a little different but kind of close. Shit, what was it? Oh, I don't remember what it was. If you're curious, Google Translate will probably tell you. Okay. Well, yeah, you had this whole emotional arc. You got self-confidence. You grew as a person and helped others to grow. The white text guy doesn't make expressions, but you get the feeling he's looking at you pityingly. I find you sweet. Honestly, I do. I don't intend to cause emotional injury. I'm just telling you the truth. Aw, what a dick. Like, just... Wow. How many assholes have hidden behind, you know, I'm not being mean or whatever. It's just the truth. If you can't handle the truth, then, like, that's your problem. Oh my god. Ugh. I never lie, you'll find. You do find some very tricky ways of, playing around the truth. It isn't like you don't have admirable qualities of your own, of course. You have made quite the valuable vessel for me, and I appreciate that very much. I could not have done this without you. I am only joking. I absolutely could have done it without you. It is just infinitely more fun to do these things together, is it not? What things? What did he do? What did you do? You hope you didn't do something that would fuck over all your friends. Though, when you try to think about them now, the bonds you felt before come up all twisted. Without the artificial friendship drive he'd given you, pushing you forward, you're not even sure what those memories are supposed to feel like. You close your eyes and breathe. You try to remember the way Polypa touched your face after you'd touched hers, her claws trailing down your cheek. How Tyzius slept, trusting as you kept watch. How Tagore gave you a chance when he saw something in you that you didn't even see in yourself. How, not that long ago, you got the chitter handle of an extremely friendly Jade Blood boy. Those moments are like the memory of warmth to you now. Blurry, cold, and those moments are like the memory of warmth to you now. blurry, cold, and out of reach. Was all of that nothing? Your heart is a chasm. Don't worry so much about it. I simply needed some dots connected, some pieces in place for my next move. Choose whichever metaphor suits you. Whichever way you frame it, because of you, everyone will soon be in their right places. Oh, shit, what have you done? Your head starts to spin and you think you might cry, so you pull your hood up over your head to block out the harsh green of the room. You try to imagine it still smells a little like Malik. It doesn't. It doesn't smell like anything, really, but you remember what it smelled like at first, and you hold on to that. It was real, you tell yourself. Your friends were real, and what you felt for them were real, and with them was real too. You're so afraid for them, and as guilty as you feel for craving it, the fear just makes you need those feelings you felt before even more. You're clawing desperately for the euphoria of caring, of being cared for. Who cares if your hand was forced? You felt it, and it still mattered. Matters. You remember how you felt watching Chixie perform, bathed in light and righteous anger, and also how you drunkenly commiserated with her later when... No, that's not right. That didn't happen, except you still remember how hungover you were the next day. Just when you started making sense of things, the whole fucking world shifts under your feet again. You just can't keep up with all this moving real estate in your brain. Yes, all of the resets. Annoying, but necessary. You are just indescribably bad at keeping yourself alive and in one piece. And you weren't quite as adept at befriending aliens to start out with. My intervention was necessary to keep you on the right path. Time and space mean very little to me, but I had to move quickly and again, repeatedly. Swipe some incriminating note-taking here, befriend an impressionable young upstart there. Anger a collar bear, inspire some bandits, you know how it is. You have to throw the temporal spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Swiping the incriminating note-taking, Tysius. Befriend an impressionable young upstart there, Tirona. Anger of collar bear, Wanshi. Inspire some bandits. Shit, which one was that? Fuck, which route was that? Bandits. Where were there bandits? Oh, was that Ramel? No, I'm thinking of stolen art, but like, no, she stole the art. Shit. I'm not gonna linger on this because we should keep moving along. However, if someone remembers which one that is, please put it in chat. I'm sure if you look back, you will be able to see traces of my deft touch. So a few memories may have slipped through the cracks here and there. Timelines tend to collapse in on each other if you aren't careful. Your ability to mentally withstand such an event, and so often, is a testament to my acumen in choosing you for the task. You even almost caught on a few times, which I must say I was not expecting. You almost listened to the silly little girl who likes to dress up in big coats and cause me trouble. Boulder! Boulder, my sweet. Skyla! Yes! Yes, the bandits was Skyla. Thank you, Sneakat. And as always, some bystanders end up getting caught in the crossfire. The one with the shovel, for instance. I doubt his mind will ever be the same. A pity. R.I.P. Communist Father. MSPA reader does look pissed. I'm sure that anyone would be that fucking pissed when they found out that their entire existence has been completely fucked over in this way. You sit up straighter and clench your hands into fists. Over the course of his pompous monologuing, you've moved past fear and grief and onto deep, globe-chafing rage. How dare he do this to your mind? To your friends' lives? What was so important that one white orb asshole had to fuck with the destinies of everyone you've grown to care about? There are answers out there, and you deserve them. And so you demand them. Adorable. Yikes. You shift on the chaise lounge so as to better hide your famous legs from this creepy round fucker. Oh, calm down. No, you are creepy as shit. All of you and your adherence to societal expectations and archetypes. Except for the fact that Andrew Hussey literally confirmed that part of Doc Scratch's character was based off of pedophilic behavior, so, like, you stop. Forever. Perhaps one day you could just learn to take a compliment. Besides, I was being condescending. So you demand answers. He sighs theatrically. You aren't even sure where the noise is coming from. He doesn't have a mouth. How is he even talking? How the fuck does anything work at all? I knew you would, but I find explaining myself incredibly tedious. Suffice it to say, I am a man with many boards and fields of play, and although there are countless ways to move the players around those boards, some are doubtlessly more entertaining than others. You were simply one pawn among many. Ooh, they just got even angrier, now they're crying. I won't bore you with the details. Doubtless you are aware of the greater contextual framework of this story. The hell you are! You aren't aware of jack shit. Your head is full of question marks. Oh, of course. How thoughtless of me. See, yet another unfortunate side effect of the limitless conversing with the narratively limited. He taps a thumb and forefinger to his orb. Perhaps it would suit you better to understand gradually. And when I say gradually, please understand that I mean it. You won't be leaving. But yes, I do believe that this will clarify some things for you. This way, please. He opens a door and gestures inside. There's light coming from in there, but it still gives off the vibe of a dark closet door in an unfamiliar bedroom at 3 a.m. You're afraid, yeah, but you want to understand even more. You stand up and take a step, conscious of the movement of the muscles in your legs. With the rosy sheen of your friendship hypnosis or whatever the fuck he did to you gone, the sensation of moving your own body feels heightened. Important. Yours. There's probably a version of you that would try to turn him down, or that would fight or run or take a nap on his surprisingly comfortable piece of antique furniture. You even consider rushing back to say goodbye to somebody, anybody at least, but you know there isn't time to click through all that bullshit. Those tributaries flicker in your mental periphery, so tangible you can almost see yourself choosing one, but you pull your focus back to the present and look him right in the orb. You just have to trust they'll remember you, because the you you've become after this journey, after all this friendship and growth and death and time, that you needs to understand. You owe it to your friends, but even more, you owe it to yourself. You found your river, and you're going to see where it leads. So you follow him. Sit here, please. In the interest of expediency, I will leave you to your own devices while I go deal with an unexpected but entirely unwanted guest. It shouldn't be too hard to parse out the truth on your own. All you need to do is read a brief webcomic. And that is the conclusion to Hiveswap Friendsim. It literally brings up the Homestuck webpage in your browser. This is working, right? Yes, okay, good. This is why I set up full display capture, because I wanted it to catch the moment when it drops off and then pops back up on your screen with your fucking web browser open. So, not only do we have here full confirmation that it was indeed Doc Scratch behind all of this, though the game is still open in the background. The game, I can still pull it up again. because we're going to look at the credits after this. Nah, it windowed down the game and pulled up the first page of Homestuck in whatever web browser's open in your computer. That's so fucking clever. I love how meta it is, and I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, because not only is it, so this is a conclusion that all of those little hints at Doc Scratch being involved, he abso-fucking-lutely was involved in the orchestration of all of this, and he deliberately allowed this to happen because it sets something in place for him. And if it sets something important in place for the grander plans of things, as well as a couple of other things that I will get into, that means that technically speaking, these Hiveswap Friendsims actually do have to be canon. Like, they do have to have happened if Doc Scratch is behind it, setting things in place for the events of Homestuck to happen. And this means that MSPA Reader, who we've been following through this whole thing, is canonically the literal MSPA Reader who appears in the comic at multiple points, including the infamous MSPA Reader have mental breakdown when Cal's full timeline is finally revealed. So, yeah. Holy shit. Oh my god, I freaked the fuck out all the way through that when I first read it. I flipped my fucking shit. Yeah, so MSPA Reader from Problem Sleuth, a different one? That's a good question. I have not finished reading Problem Sleuth yet. I haven't even come to the part where MSPA Reader makes an appearance in Problem Sleuth. But that is an interesting question, whether or not they are the same person. I mean, with this reveal, like, there is actually potential for that now. Which adds an interesting layer to things. Like, how then does MSPA Reader make the jump from reading Homestuck to Problem Sleuth? Is Problem Sleuth just, like, a side comic that they read for fun? Like, to take breaks from Homestuck or something? You know? I mean, that could be a possibility. Yeah, no, that's a good question. Okay. So there's a couple of things. First of all, so there's a new button on the home screen that I'm going to talk about. So Friends, if you click on this, so it brings you to this new screen where there's all of these badges. And basically, once you complete a route, you get the badge, except for the fact that currently it is not functioning correctly, because it stops with Zebedee. Like, past here, it does not work. Like, the last volume works, but past this point, I haven't tried going backwards to see how many I could go backwards for, but it just gives you little, you know, a little thing. Like here, like if it's blank, it just says, you know, graveyard shift, befriend Frozer. But if you become friends with them, you know, friendship, you found out that being a cerulean blood is hard and nobody understands. Or, you know, the new moisture wave, you sympathize with the drawbacks of online fame. What are some good ones? Yeah, you know, you get the two Chixie endings, you know, you listen to a very one-sided rap battle and you drowned your sorrows. You won on a technicality. You heard the good word from the big man himself. And so it's a really nice little feature that kind of, you know, gives you another little extra thing if you complete all the routes. So yeah, it's not fully functional at the moment, so hopefully that gets up and running soon. Oh, right, another thing. When they were trying to get Volume 18 out, so when they were trying to get it out, they were not able to... There were issues with the code. It was like a game-breaking code error where it would just totally crash the game. And what they had to do in order to get it out within decent time was that they had to disable Volume 13, which is which is a fantastic coincidence because, of course, in the epilogue is when we finally get conclusion that from Doc Scratch that Boulder has indeed been trying to fuck his shit up. And then it's the volume 13 with her in it is the one that that has to get disabled, that keeps crashing the game. But like that has been confirmed by David Turnbull to just be a coincidence. But a funny one indeed. Yeah, so this is a neat little feature. And credits. The final credits. This is it. The complete credits for Hiveswap Friendship Simulator. Andrew Hesse directing all volumes. Ash Paulson, Cindy Dominguez, and Julian Dominguez for this one. Writers. Okay, so V wrote Lanque. I brought that up when we were talking about that, but I did not want to show the... Oh, shit. It just says epilogue. Okay. Aisha Yafera wrote Doc Scratch. I was worried that it would just say Doc Scratch. I probably should have checked. But yeah, that's why we didn't do credits yesterday, because I was like, oh no, what if it's a spoiler? But it's not. Aisha Yafera wrote the epilogue. Brilliantly done. Oh my god. Oh, and this is now the perfect time for me to... Okay, hold up. So I'm going to switch back to game capture mode. There we go. We don't need that anymore. So, where is it? Perfectly Generic Podcast did an interview with Aisha Yafera talking about the Hiveswap Friendsims, and it's fantastic. It is a really, really fantastic interview. If you've got the hour spare to give it a listen. Let's get that game open again. And the Soleil Twins, Barzim and Baisley, was Kieran Miranda, which the mood was so fantastic, and they're so perfect. I love the twins a lot more than I thought I would. I super, super adore them. And I'm just generally super protective of all the young trolls. Karako, Wanshi, glancing over the list here. I know that I'm missing a bunch. Karako, Wanshi, Tirona, Amicia, the twins. I think those are the only 5 that are like the super teeny little folks, who are supposed to be like 12ish, I think. But yeah, no, I'm like way protective, just especially as a person who's basically my whole career history is working with youth. So I'm just like especially ultra protective of those little folks. Character artists. Final volume was Kim Quach, which is why there was that little bit of resemblance in the posing between Lanque and Marvis's armpit root. And colorist Adrian Garcia. So we had, for the first time since the first couple volumes, we had a colorist on board as well. So background artists, we have both Phil Gibson and CJ Walker. So CJ Walker has a very particular background art style. It's very easy to pick out from the other ones. And you can kind of like tell it apart with volume 16 and volume 18. Just in that kind of less line work and more like solid colors in terms of blocking out the characters in the back and the furniture and all that. It's a very, very unique, very nice art style that really sticks out from the rest of the styles in the Friendsim. In a good way. I'm not saying that to be insulting. And Phil Gibson, back at it again. And editing illustrations are the same. Phil Gibson and CJ Walker. Okay, UI design David Turnbull, of course. Music. Scrolling all the way. Oh, that kills me every time. Fucking assy face of Bowsette. Right, so Lanque's theme y'all know I just do the music right. That was the one that played during the NSFW end. And Lanque's other theme, Valid End, is the one that played during the Valid End. The poetry one. Both really nice piano songs. The Soleil Twins theme is called The Final Countdown, which is a fantastic name. Bless you, James Roach. And the final root theme, the epilogue theme for Doc Scratch, was called Worst End. And I think that's it. We got Mint Shipleaf on game design and programming. Same old Suncroft for quality assurance, and all the same copyright stuff. Okay. The music is, yeah, the music is playing. I don't know why I was like, oh my god, the music's not playing. The music is playing. So, here's the end of our journey, folks. That's it. We're done. That is the end of Hiveswap Friendsim, and now all there is left to do is wait for Act 2. And fingers crossed it will be coming out soon-ish. I don't know. I'm hoping we at least get some news soon-ish, because they have been... Okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself here. I've probably said that a million times, but I may reiterate. If I may reiterate. They've generally, up until this point, been pretty good at keeping a steady flow of information to us. I mean, they don't have... Wet Pumpkin in general does not have the best track record with being super duper communicative. I will admit that. I mean, no one really knew... They never said, strictly speaking, that Act 2 was delayed, which I think they should have just fessed up and been like, here's the deal. However, they've been keeping a steady stream of content and a steady stream of information flowing to us this whole way through, all the way from all the way through the troll call, and then after that little few months gap with the Friend Sims, it's been like steady flow. We've been getting tidbits from people like James Roach and David Turnbull, in terms of behind the scenes stuff as well. And, you know, from the things that James Roach is saying, it does sound like most of the game is complete. Like, for example, on the soundtrack that he released on the official Homestuck Bandcamp page, notably the tracks for Zebedee and Charun are missing. And someone asked him, and they are his tracks, and he stated, that those tracks were not on that album because they're actually area tracks from Hiveswap Act 2. So I really do think that it really does seem like most of the game is done, but again, they haven't really communicated that kind of stuff to us very well. But I'm really hoping, I'm a benefit of the doubt kind of person, and I'm very sincerely hoping that we will get some news at the very least within the next month. But this was okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this one, Surly Guy. Yeah, they really pulled out all the stops for the finale. I mean, the further the ball got rolling, the further you got into it, the more, Boulder was really kind of like the nail in the coffin. Oh, there is definitely something fucking happening here. Oh my god. And then, especially from then on, it was just, the speed of the plot just picked up exponentially, and they continue to just outdo themselves every time. I'm just like, how are they gonna outdo themselves? And then they did it, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm super happy with the conclusion for this, but there's also a part of me that's just plain old disappointed that it's over. Oh well. It had to end sometime. And hey, I mean, they have said that there will be troll calls again for future acts of Hiveswap. So maybe there will be future Friend Sims as well. We shall see. So, that is all for tonight. We're finishing 15 minutes early because that epilogue was not a full-blown route. It was not as long as a usual route is, but it definitely had a shitload of impact. God, that was so fucking good. This weekend, we are returning to Undertale on Friday and Saturday nights. Where the fuck did I leave off? Right, so last Undertale stream was left off at the the entrance to Waterfall. So that is where we will be returning. We sinking those claws into Undines and the setting of Waterfall, and that's probably going to take this whole weekend. It's going to be just lots and lots of exploring Waterfall. Yeah. And then in terms of bonus streams for the next couple weeks, I'm going to say that this will be, I'm going to, oh, where am I? Oh shit, sorry. Where am I in Problem Sleuth? Where am I in Problem Sleuth? What the fuck did I put that bookmark? Page 598. The start of chapter 9 of 22. That is where I'm at. Yeah, no, that I am planning after Undertale and Deltarune, I would like to stream Problem Sleuth. I've gotten a little sidetracked from reading Problem Sleuth because I started reading a 600,000 word Homestuck fic. So that's kind of been taking a lot of my time, as well as just playing a fuckload of Stardew Valley. Very good game. But yeah, I'm gonna say for now, in terms of bonus streams, and I know this may or may not be a little freaky to hear for some people, but this is going to be the very last bonus stream of 2018. I know, the year's almost over. What the fuck? Yeah, because next week is Christmas, which my family celebrates Christmas, so we'll be doing that kind of stuff. I'm not entirely sure. The family plans right now, it's all over the place. I cannot predict how the next week is going to be, and I can't really plan a bonus stream around that. It's just gonna be like, there's gonna be a lot happening. There's some, some stressful stuff happening with my family right now on top of holiday garbage, so, and then the week after that, the Monday is New Year's, and then on Thursday I start my next school term. Holy shit, right? Back to school already. Ugh. But yeah, so for those 2 weeks, for like the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, I'm gonna say chopping out those bonus streams just for the sake of, also just for the sake of taking a break. I don't want to push this too hard. I also still kind of have to figure out what I'm doing with bonus streams now that the Friendsims are done, because they kind of became the only thing that I was doing. However, I'm thinking maybe Find the Pup at the Party for now, and then I'll try and catch up on some visual novel games. Okay, I have been putting off the inevitable, but truly it is time to end the very last Hiveswap Friendsim stream. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope that y'all had as much of a good time as I had reading. And I hope that you enjoyed the epilogue. I hope that it shocked you and made you excited about Homestuck in the same way it made me super fucking excited about Homestuck. And, kind of made me want to do a reread. But that will wait until probably next October, when I'm thinking that's when I'll start reread stream number 2. But I gotta feel that out. Okay. Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Undertale Waterfall. Be there or be square. Big ol' nerd. Okay. I'm rambling. It's time to cut this off. thank you so much, all of you, for coming along with me for this entire Friendsim journey, whether you came for all of the streams or only one. Yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. And from my end, that's good night.